Hey, everybody. Oh, are we on? Are we good?
Are we good?
All right. Hey,
Are we
everyone.
live?
It's us. It's Live Connection. We're here doing something new and exciting. Evan decided to get into character. He decided to wear a period piece hat. So that's always good. He's decided to get together. Anyway, I'm just going to jump right into it. We're doing some tabletop role playing games. We're playing Call of Cthulhu. Uh, a lot of us really love tabletop games. We all play Dungeons and Dragons, all have experience in the past. Um, we're going to give it a shot and play through a really famous campaign from Call of Cthulhu from Chaosium called Masks of Nyarlathotep. I think that's backwards on everyone's screen, but you know, it works out. So before we get started, a couple housekeeping things. So first and foremost, whenever you're talking about Call of Cthulhu or anything in regards to this universe, you kind of have to address the elephant in the room. These are based on the works of H.P. Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraft was a notorious racist even for his day. It's pretty intangible from his work, and as much as the 21st century has done its best to amend some of those errors, it's not always a clean break, and some of those racial themes do tend to come up. Especially in Masks of Nyarlathotep, there are some things regarding police corruption towards people of color and black communities. So it's a good story playing hook, and it does address that in a very good way. But it's always good to make sure that people are aware of that going in. So that is always important. If you're interested in sort of how you can recontextualize the Cthulhu mythos and H.P. Lovecraft's racism, there's a few good resources. I'll probably give some more in the future, but tonight I've got two really good ones. This is a book that I started reading recently called Lovecraft Country, which is a fiction book written by a guy named Matt Ruff. It's set in the American South and during the Jim Crow era. It deals with the Cthulhu mythos and kind of the racism of that time. It's really good. I haven't finished it yet, but I've been really enjoying it since I started reading it last week. And also, Chaosium has published a new role-playing supplement for Call of Cthulhu called Harlem Unbound, which deals with some of those issues of race and how you can sort of make that work in a game that's set in a time period where race is a really big issue, and do it in a way that works for everyone and is not what's the word I'm looking for, cognizant of sort of those issues. So you can get the PDF of that. I believe Chaosium is coming out with a hardcover in the next little while. I'm looking forward to picking up a copy of that. It devotes an entire chapter to racism and role-playing and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to reading that as well. And last, this is our first time ever playing Call of Cthulhu. And although a lot of us are experienced tabletop role-playing people, our background is all in 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons and a few other things. I'm a quick learner, but I've never run Call of Cthulhu before. I've never even played Call of Cthulhu before as a player. So we're inevitably going to make some mistakes. It might be a little bit slow getting started, but as time goes on, we will all get better at this. But without further ado, I think it's time we get into Masks of Nyarlathotep. Is everyone ready?
I am ready.
I'm ready.
Excited.
Okay, excellent.
And just before we do, I want to say that, Evan, you are the best dressed in the room right now.
He is, yeah.
I'm really glad I didn't have to ask you if you were wearing that hat unironically.
It's a period piece. It's the year is 1921. He's got to get into character, and we love him for it.
I considered getting a wig, but I don't know if I could have maintained it.
I want to get playing, but I do have a quick story regarding being dressed. In my second year, there was a project where at the presentations, they encouraged people to dress up kind of with a theme of what your vehicle was. And so our vehicle that we built for the project was a Pokemon thing. So I tried to come as a safari looking person because, I don't know, Pokemon, safari, you get the drift. And I'm the only one that dressed up in the whole class. And I didn't go all out. So I'm standing there and I'm meeting these people. And then I'm like, they just think I dress like this. This is how I dress. Like,
A
no,
normal
this
day.
is not how I dress.
That is a great first impression for all of those people,
Yeah.
and a very on-brand Evan story. Yeah. Before we get started, is there anything anyone else wants to say? Anything that anyone wants to bring any attention to?
Graydon still looks like a grumpy old man.
He does.
I am a grumpy
Graydon
old
doesn't
man.
look happy to be here.
Ever since the day I was bored, I've been pissed off at the world. And I said bored, not born.
He came
Yeah.
out like this. He's like,
Yeah, you're like an
Yeah, I was
emotional
pissed from the
Benjamin
start.
Button. When you're old and about to die, you're gonna have like childlike glee.
you're
How
trying
on
to
brand.
you're trying to kick the doctor away as you were coming out. You're like, no.
Get
No,
out.
I was swinging at him.
I came here to roleplay, not talk about this.
Alright, let's go.
All right. So let me set the stage for you guys. I've already given you the handouts that sort of kick off the adventure, but for those listening, I'll give a little bit of background information. The year is 1921. The First World War, at present currently known as the Great War in most countries, ended just 3 years ago, pardon me, in 1918. Following that terrible worldwide pandemic, hundreds of millions of people died in the Spanish influenza. And just last year, Prohibition started in North America, namely the United States, after the ratification of the 18th Amendment, I believe it was. And Prohibition also exists in Canada in a slightly more subdued way, but the U.S. kind of is a little bit more important in most Call of Cthulhu games, so we're basing that in a more U.S.-centric way. Prohibition has led to an increase of organized crime, particularly in major population centers like New York and Chicago. And now, in the year 1921, you have all received word of an expedition into the jungles of Peru that you have all signed on for. You have received a telegram from your employer, a man named Augustus Larkin, and you are being summoned to Bar Cordano in Lima, which is the capital of Peru, on March 18th, 1921 at 7 p.m. So after a long few weeks of travel, probably just 1 week to get to Peru from like a major population center in the United States by boat. So about a week, maybe a few days more worth of travel, you all arrive in Lima, and you all individually make your way to Bar Cordano in downtown Lima. So as you all begin to file in to the bar and restaurant, let's start with Graydon. Graydon, would you give us a brief introduction of your character? Who do we see as Bar Cordano comes into view?
For sure. What you see in front of you is an average build, an average height man. Short, black hair, graying at the sides of the head, and a thin pencil mustache. He's dressed quite finely in a three-piece gray suit with a red vest undercoat, and a keen eye would spy a shoulder holster under his left arm.
All right. Very, very nice. Evan, since you're already dressed the part, why don't you explain what we see as you enter Bar Cordano in Lima?
Can you show the picture?
You see this man. Coming
He's
up.
beautiful.
He's as you can see, he's a little sickly. Definitely had some rough times. You can see he's got a good. I mean, it's not drawn here, but you can imagine crow's feet on his eyes, wrinkles. He looks like he's always a little bit tired, and yeah, he probably, I don't know, he could be probably about 5'6". And
All right.
yeah, he's dressed with this green and this nice hat, and obviously it's not a sweater because it's a little warm. And yeah, he's ready to go.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Peter, do you want to describe your character as he walks into Bar Cordano?
She.
This fine. She.
She.
Oh.
I decided to play a female character for the first time.
Okay.
It's hard.
Perfect.
All right, what you see is this young woman walk in. She's you know, she's a little bit shorter than average. She's got a brunette. She's brunette with a ponytail. She's wearing like a tank top and some sweats sort of thing. She walks in, she looks around. She's definitely confident looking. She knows what she wants to get. And she's not really afraid of anybody.
All right. Excellent. No explanation needed for this mystery woman.
No.
Jared, how about yourself?
Well, you see a gentleman, kind of, medium build, not super tall, kind of average. Walk in. He's got sides of his head are kind of shaved with a bit longer hair on top that's combed backwards. He's got on like a nice dress vest kind of style with a nice bow tie and a bit of a more colorful, I don't know, purpley-ish, like a gray purple like dress shirt and black dress pants on.
Okay. Excellent. And Mr. Matthew.
What you see is a rather charming, rather short and small build gentleman wearing a pair of cargo shorts and a vest. Walk in. He has a tilly hat and a mischievous expression on his face. You definitely know that this man is a man who has traveled many places and is maybe a bit hard to trust. And a keen eye would spot that he has a mysterious ring on his finger. I'll use your imagination as to which finger it is.
Which finger it is.
His penis for a second.
Yeah. A keen eye would see his cock ring. Cargo shorts.
A keen eye would notice he's wearing a ring on his baby toe for some reason.
You just described Peter and my, like the combination of Peter and I.
Oh, a fusion.
Short, mischievous grin, confident, but wearing cargo shorts.
Has been as like adventurous, but
Yeah.
This is
Actually,
1921.
what you guys
This
missed
guy
is-
might have fucking invented cargo shorts.
Oh,
This guy might be your messiah, Jared.
What you guys missed is minutes before he walked in, Peter and Jared jumped out of a time hole and did the fusion dance, and then here we are.
All right.
That didn't actually happen. That's
So
important
perfect.
to know that.
As the five of you make your way independently into Bar Cordano, complete strangers to one another, you find yourselves seated at a table with three other men. The man sitting at the head of the table is a very skinny, pale, gaunt white gentleman with sort of a tuft of hair at the top, but somewhat trimmed sides, eyes sunk deep into the sockets with dark circles underneath. He's wearing a very nice suit, but he seems to be sweating quite profusely. Seated to his left is another white European man, or of European descent, with a messy blob of sort of brown hair, large mustache underneath his very pointed nose. Looks like he hasn't shaved in a couple of days. He also has a goatee underneath his lip. Wearing a similar suit, he has a perpetual scowl on his face and has his arms crossed and seems to be glaring at the man sitting across from him, who is the third man at the table. He's an African-American man who's smoking a pipe, also wearing a suit and wearing like a fedora atop of his head. And as you all sit down, the man at the end of the table, the pale man, greets himself as Augustus Larkin, the man who you've been hired to venture into the jungles with. He said, hello, gentlemen. I do hope the trip wasn't too rough for you. And a lady as well, I see. That should make for interesting company on the trip.
The trip was nothing.
Oh, good. Well, it's a pleasure to finally be introduced to you. I'm Augustus Larkin. The man to my left is my associate, Mr. Luis Mendoza. and the man sitting to his right introduces himself as Jesse Hughes, the African American man. How do you all do? Jesse says to you.
Doing all right.
I'm thirsty.
Well, I suppose it's a good thing that Prohibition hasn't reached us here in Peru. Why don't we all get
Wait,
some drinks and get acquainted with one another?
Sounds lovely.
There's nothing I'd like more.
Hmm.
I pull out a cigarette. I start smoking.
Nice, which you are able to do in this this part of the world in this time period. Nothing wrong with that. Health code violations be damned. They don't exist yet.
What did you say
All right.
the black man's name was again, sorry?
Jesse.
He introduced himself as Jesse Hughes, I believe. Yes, Jesse Hughes. All right. Now, Augustus begins to speak again. It's like, well, now that you all know who we are, perhaps we can go around and introduce ourselves to each other, now that you've joined us.
Well, allow me to begin. I mean, I'm sure all of you know who I am already, but allow me to refresh your minds. Gentlemen,
No idea.
lady, you can call me Mr. Harrison Dodge. You may have seen my name on many a book cover in the past, as I've written many illustrious tales of my journeys to all four corners of the earth, because what's a great fiction story without a little bit of truth? And I am enticed by our friend Augustus here's offer to visit, was it a pyramid?
Yes, that's right. There's a pyramid in the jungles that I've hired you to help me locate. I'm sure it will be quite lucrative for all of us.
This quest will be yet another page in the tale of my legend.
You guys want to make a spot hidden roll for me?
Oh boy, first roll of the night.
First roll.
Oh! 11!
11.
Assuming.
Oof.
88. Oh,
88.
88.
You don't have to tell me the number. You just have to tell me if it's a success or a fail relative to
Oh.
your.
Fail.
Fail.
Oh, relative
Did
to
you roll
what?
for
What do
me?
we... Relative to...
So you have your spot hidden skill.
Oh, yep. It
Uh,
is a success.
a success. Is it better than a normal success? Is it a hard success or an extreme success? Remember, you have three numbers. It's next to each one.
25. What was the ratio again for those? The top one was...
The top one is half of your skill, and the bottom one is 1/5 of your skill.
Okay, so it's the half one. It's below that.
Okay, so you made a hard success on your spot hidden roll. So Evan and Peter, what did you guys get?
Fail.
Sorry. I rolled a D100, right?
Yep.
Peter, I'm not sure your mic went through there.
I got
failed.
29. That's a
Failed.
success.
A success.
Yeah, that's under the first number, but not the second number.
All right, and I will roll for Matt because Matt doesn't have any dice. What's your spot hidden skill, Matt?
It's 55.
You also succeed.
Hey.
All right. So everyone who succeeded, you'll notice next to all of your skills, there's a little checkbox. When you succeed on a skill roll without using luck points or without pushing the roll, you get to check that box, and in the future, you'll get to try and improve that skill.
Oh.
So that's how you gain experience points in this game and sort of level up, since there's not a leveling up system.
Interesting.
All right. So those of you who succeeded on your spot hidden roll, you see that Augustus and Luis don't take any mention to Harrison's name, but Jesse Hughes actually seems to recognize in his facial expression who Harrison Dodge is.
I see. At least I have one fan here at the table. A man of taste, I tell you. A man of taste.
I've read a fair number of books in my time, but yes, I suppose that's one way to put it.
Would I know anything? Can I see if I would recall anything about his character?
Make a luck roll, I guess. Just
A
to
luck
see
roll.
to see if you've come across his books at any point.
I don't know if I'd call it luck.
Oh,
Uh,
starting things
7.
off on the wrong foot, young man. I see. I'll remember that later.
You rolled a 7.
I rolled a 7. Yeah.
Okay, so you think you might have seen a book written by some dude named Harrison Dodge at one point or another, potentially.
Do I know if he's like discredited or anything?
Um, I
It's just
You know,
fuck.
you don't
I
have,
don't
to,
have
you
his
don't have to trust
backstory.
me, but at least trust Harrison Dodge.
I don't even know if he's discredited, to be honest with you.
Okay. All right.
You have heard of the name. You've maybe seen a book in a bookstore. That's about the extent of it.
Okay.
All right.
Ah, well, I'm sure we'll have plenty of travel time for me to fill you in on the works of Mr. Harrison Dodge.
Do we have to learn it?
Again,
And,
my friend. Wrong foot indeed.
Boys,
And,
can we continue around the circle? Or are we gonna sit here comparing dicks all day?
Well, that's a contest you'll lose in for sure, my dear. And what was your name?
You know,
You know
at least
what?
you got your
I
last
agree
name
with the
right.
name.
You're one dodgy character. The name's Ruth.
Ooh.
Ruth Blackmore. And you know what? That's all you need to know about me. I grab my drink and I drink. If you want to know more, you'll have to work a little harder.
A woman of perpetual
Ooh.
mystery, I see. Augustus says. Well, we're happy to have you on the expedition, my dear. And Augustus kind of like gestures to you, Jared, and is like, and perhaps you would be so good to let us know your name, good sir.
The name's Leon. That is all you need to hear.
Real
All right,
original.
so a lot of
Guys, kind of
Ruth, just because you have a name that everyone else has doesn't mean you can say real original to me.
At least I have a name people remember, buddy.
anyways, how about we move on?
Jesse. I don't know Jesse.
And kind of sensing the tension at the table, Augustus kind of looks over towards your character, Evan's like, and what about you, my good man?
Let's see. My name is Norman. Norman Hammerston. So, that's about it. It's my life.
Wow, you guys sure know how to tell a story, don't you?
Thanks.
Actually, my buddy's back
I
at
think
the bar. I
actions
love
speak
that.
louder than words.
Ah, well, you've never read a book by Harrison Dodge before.
Oh boy. I hope Harrison Dodge never dies.
Me too, pal, me too.
And I suppose that that leaves just our last companion. And he gestures towards your character, Graydon.
I had to tip my hat. My name's Clyde Fox.
Go on.
I just realized I should have been writing everyone's names down.
I got
Yeah,
them all.
see,
I got him.
I think I got everyone.
I had to write into my phobias and manias section, but that's okay because I probably don't have any.
Why
of those,
didn't you
right?
write it?
Oh,
in
I'm
your-
sure nothing bad's gonna happen. I'm
Why
sure
don't you
you'll
write on
never
the
get
back?
anything like
What about
that.
your fellow investigators section? The part where you're
There is
supposed
a
to.
section for that on the.
Son of a bitch. Hold
No,
on,
sorry,
I got
Matt, what was your character's name? Something
My-
Harrington?
my character's name something Harrington. You've
Harrison.
surely never seen the name Harrison Dodge before. You need some taste, my good man. It's Harrison Dodge.
Dodge.
Like a certain San Holo who is yet to have been born.
Jared, what was your character's name?
Leon.
Leon.
The professional. We got Norman, and we got Ruth. Graydon, what's your character's name again?
Clyde. Clyde
Clyde.
Fox.
That's right. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. That's something I should have been paying attention to earlier. Anyways,
I'm nervous. I'm so nervous.
I'm a little nervous too, man. You know?
Mhm.
Don't worry, we'll get into the swing of it.
That's why I drink
Mhm.
alcohol.
So, you guys want to make a psychology roll for me as well? Everybody at the table?
Psychology.
Ew.
Oh, yikes.
Ew, that was real gross. Oh damn.
Fail.
Success.
Jack minus 50.
Oh, you have an extreme success. Oh, no. No.
Oh,
No.
no.
You actually
I-
fail.
I will. And I'm not, well,
I read the dice wrong.
oh, God. I invested all of the psychologies just for you to bring my hopes up and drag them down again.
Sorry, I'm
I
sorry about
succeeded.
that. Okay, so remember to mark skills that you succeed on without using luck points or pushing the roll, so you can improve them later. Were you the only one that succeeded?
I also succeeded.
Leon? Okay, so those of you who succeed, you can, even before you guys sit down and start, like, riffing on one another and bringing the atmosphere down, there is some tension at this table. You see Luis Mendoza, who has not said a word all night so far, is just staring daggers at Jesse Hughes across the table from you.
Maurice, you look a little tense over there.
Who's that?
Is it Maurice?
Luis, like cranes his eyes towards you, Leon, and says, "My name is Luis. Luis."
Can you say that one more time for me?
He just looks at you. Is now all of his attention is off of Jesse and is just staring like right through your soul, like total 1,000-yard stare. This man looks like he has seen some shit.
Leon.
Maybe this is why this guy only has one name. You can only remember one.
That's a good one. Leon, did you let a stick of dynamite go off next to your eardrum?
Once or twice.
So did
I
I
heard
hear?
about him when Harrison Dodge talked about his books, and it deafened me.
Did I hear something about a pyramid earlier?
Scheme?
Yes, right. Well, anyways, if we're going to order food, I suggest you get some of the fish dishes here. They're very, very nice, Augustus says. And over dinner and drinks, I can answer any questions you have about the expedition. That seems to be the most prudent way forward, I think.
I'll be the judge of those fish dishes.
You eat a lot of
Are
fish?
you?
He's
Okay. Yeah. Okay, all right.
Hey, Augustus. Oh,
Yes.
sorry.
Yes, my good sir.
Can I start asking questions now? Or?
Well, why don't I give you a little bit of background information about sort of how I came to know about this archaeological site and what I think the best moves going forward are, and then I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
How does one
Alright,
find
sounds good.
pyramids in Peru?
Exactly. So, a number of months ago, just last year, I was here sojourning in Peru, and I came across a farmer who told me about this site, this old site. I'm not sure if it would be Incan or some other archaeological denomination or what have you. And he sold me a few artifacts, and Augustus kind of gestures to a few things that he's had in front of him. One of them is sort of like a brooch or a large amulet, and the other is a cup inlaid with gold. He sold these to me and told me about a location up in the southern highlands of Peru, sort of on the border with Bolivia, near Lake Titicaca. And he told me about a pyramid there. Now, this roused my interest, and I decided to put together a team to perhaps go and scout out these ruins and find what other treasures there may be. And that's where all of you come in. I thought that might be a prudent avenue of investigation. So I'm glad that you're all here now.
So we don't even know if this thing is there.
Well, I have it on good authority from this Peruvian farmer, and he did provide me with these two exquisite artifacts, which you're more than welcome to take a look at if you have any doubts.
I'll take a look at that gold cup.
All right.
Maybe you should have a
Norman.
drink from it.
Last Crusade.
Yeah. Norman, do you want to make an archaeology roll for me?
Oh my god, mine suck.
Hey, Jack, could you say what the artifacts are again? Sorry.
Yes, absolutely. One is a pendant in the form of a man holding two rods or stabs. It's embellished with rectangular shapes. The other is a golden cup carved with geometrical patterns and circles and inlaid with turquoise.
Can I
I failed my roll.
Okay,
can I look at the pendant?
you certainly can. Would you like to make an archaeology roll as well? Or just tell me what your archaeology skill is, and I'll roll for you.
It's one, like
Oh, it's-
0, 1.
It's one, so I have to roll a 1 on a D100 to
Yes.
succeed.
Yeah, it's a one in a lifetime chance that I'm gonna look at this thing and know what the frick it is.
All right, well, you rolled an 81,
Okay,
so you were close.
Only 8 off.
Are there any like further actions that I'm allowed to take, like on my own accord, that don't necessarily have any skills associated with them, Jack?
Read one of your books.
You can
Like-
do whatever you like.
Can I hold it up to my mysterious ring and see if anything happens?
Sure, you hold it up to your mysterious ring, and nothing happens.
Great. Take it back.
You know, you
Wait,
Throws it back.
you finally find meaning to your mysterious ring.
You don't know anything about my mysterious ring. I don't know anything about my mysterious ring. That's why it's a mysterious ring.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta tap the ring on the thing to make a sound. It just won't make a sound. Hold on.
Ah, my friend, this is no ordinary ring on my finger. I picked this out of a exquisite. No, that's not the right word. Hang on. I picked this out of a mysterious. It's a lot of mystery. A mysterious temple in Tibet when I was exploring that side of the world. I was so struck by its magnificence. There's no ring I've ever seen like it. I like to think it brings me the fortune that's brought me, well, my fortune, essentially.
I must have missed that book.
Well,
And so you
sounds
got
like
a
you don't have
fortune?
a good taste.
You say you got a lot of money?
None of your business there, sailor. Just mind your own business, huh? Unless your business is one of
I'm
my
just
books by
saying,
Harrison
you know,
Todd.
man to man, it wouldn't be a very smart thing walking around in a new place, with a bunch of new people saying I got a lot of money in my pocket.
Oh, my friend, don't you worry about it. I know very well how to handle myself. Reaches over hand, shows bruised hand, implying many a fist fight.
Oh yeah, you get that from your ring? You put that on too tight?
Nah, no, I actually got it from pulling my finger out of your girlfriend's ring, actually.
We just met.
Somebody laugh?
I'm from New York.
So,
Quiet. He doesn't,
I
he
too
doesn't
am
quite
from New York.
understand. He doesn't quite understand. He's been writing too many books to understand this. What's happening between you and him?
What are you saying there? Sorry, your name was Leon. Leon, what are you saying there, Leon? It's you don't gain knowledge from reading books. I mean, I'm sure you would be the judge of that, my friend. You seem like you'd struggle with a children's picture book about the fire of London.
at this point, Jesse kind of pikes up and says, "Reading is one of our greatest treasures in this world."
A man of culture.
I'm just gonna throw back my drink after that comment.
So, dinner eventually comes out to all of you guys, and I'm assuming those of you who are from North America, probably all of you, have probably ordered 1 or 2 drinks at this point, since it's tough to get legal booze. It's impossible to get
I
legal
missed
booze.
this. This prohibition is bullshit.
Yes. That's one thing I think we can all agree on, at least.
There's nothing
Cheers to
like
that,
an
gentlemen and lady.
old-fashioned.
Makes me yearn for the days of the Trapping Guild before the Great War.
Oh.
Yes.
What did you
right.
do during the Great War, Norman?
I fished.
I wrote
Well,
books. Have I mentioned that yet?
You fish
Right,
for Japs?
Fish.
Talking about that, Clyde, what did you do before the war?
But hey, don't worry about it.
Yes.
And he just kind of and he stares down Leon for a half second, and then he turns back to his meal.
Listen,
Don't
I'm
worry
sensing
about
there's
it.
maybe a little bit of hostility at this table. I don't suppose you'd want to maybe ask some questions about the expedition? Anything regarding that?
Am I gonna have to spend the entire time with these chuckle fucks or no?
Well, the answer is yes, but I'm hoping we can all walk away from this endeavor with a lot more money in our pockets, collectively.
What is our cut?
It's a good question.
Yeah, it's
Well-
got to be worth our time.
If the riches are what I believe they may be, you are all welcome to take as much as you can carry.
What you believe?
Okay,
Well,
What you
can
believe?
can I roll a quick appraisal on the gold cup?
yeah, absolutely. You can roll it on both of them, in fact.
All right, I will do that. Do you want separate rolls or one for both?
No, you can make one roll for both objects.
Yeah, that's a hard fail.
Oh,
The 95.
oh boy. That's actually, what's your appraisal skill?
45.
You actually fumble the roll on a 95, which is a little bit like rolling a natural 1.
Do I drop the cup?
Actually, as
Looks to be
you're
avoid.
as you're examining the cup, you actually do like kind of butterfingers it, and it rolls towards Luis, who grabs it and is like, "Be careful with the merchandise, Greenhorn."
Sorry. It's been a while since I've had a drink. Gets to my head a little bit faster than I thought.
Come on, Leon. Your name's not Leon, is it?
My name's not Leon, no.
What do you want, Norman? What do you want to say to me?
All right.
I'm just bad with names. The sea does that to your head.
Don't worry, I can
Friendship.
relate. I can relate with bad with names. Right, Maurice?
Luis like just stares, just fucking stares. He does not like you. You don't even need to make a psychology roll to know you are his least favorite person at this table now.
I've got a question.
Yes. What can I do for you, Miss Ruth?
Who
Lo-
exactly is in charge here?
Oh, well, that would be me. I'm the financier of this expedition. And then Mr. Mendoza is my second in command. And I've only known Mr. Hughes here for a number of days. But yes, all inquiries and leadership of the expedition will be taken care of by me.
Why is Hughes
And
here?
Mr. Hughes, how did you come across this
Mhm.
operation? Great minds think alike, Ruth. Isn't that right? Would you
Don't
like another
get
drink?
too excited.
Jesse kind of Jesse takes his pipe out of his mouth and like kind of, you can see he has hand motions when he speaks, and he kind of like gestures with the end of his pipe to you guys as he speaks. He's like, "Oh yeah, well, I was here in Peru, kind of just as little bit of respite. I'm actually from New York myself. I know we have a few members of the expedition from the great state of New York, the great city of New York, and I was just fortunate enough to come across Mr. Larkin's proposal, and I decided to jump at the bit. It's not every day that you get to go on a potentially life-changing expedition like this.
Suspicious sip.
Ain't that the
Ruth,
truth?
Ruth, do you want to make a psychology check
I will
against
do that.
Jesse?
That is a fail.
That's a fail.
That's a
You
fail.
believe her.
Jack, can I
We are a
Jack,
bunch
can I
of
do
failures.
a check as well? Because I also asked.
Sure. Yeah, why not? I'll let it. I'll allow it. What's your psychology
my-
skill?
It's 50.
You also fail.
Oh,
Ooh.
fuck me. I gave myself a bunch of stats in the 50s because I thought at least like a 50-50 would be okay, but it's only okay when you actually win.
No.
When you do good.
As is the
Them's the-
50-50.
Same with
I did
Gandalf.
the same thing, Matt.
This is why I don't go to the casino.
Anyways, so Jesse pipes up and says, Mr. Larkin, where exactly is this pyramid? Larkin goes, oh, yes, so it's a few days' journey outside of Lima. We'll have to take trucks down the coast of Peru and then venture into the highlands towards Bolivia, probably on alpaca or on foot. We'll reach a small settlement called Puno. It's near Lake Titicaca and should be maybe another day or two on foot to reach the pyramid from there, from what I've gathered.
Sounds like quite the
Lots.
journey.
Lots of time to get to know each other.
Looking forward to it, my friends.
And what about
I,
our supplies?
Well, if you need any supplies, I would suggest to stock up while we're here in Lima. We leave on Monday. You guys know that today is Saturday.
I do
so-
know that.
Actually, today might be Friday. Let me double check that.
I think it said Saturday on the handout that you gave
invite.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check the handouts real quick. I just want to double check that.
It just says you just have a date. We don't have an actual.
March 18th.
Okay, March 18th. All right, hang on while I Google March 18th, 1921.
So, Ruth, tell us about yourself.
Well, what do you
Yeah,
wanna
what's a
know,
dame like you
honey?
doing out on a venture like this?
I
You
wouldn't
know-
have quite put it that vulgar, but yeah.
What do you mean, Volga?
You know, I've been around men my entire life, and every
Okay,
single
yes.
one of you.
I was correct. Today is Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday. Then you have Sunday, and then Larkin tells you you'll leave on Monday. So you've got a full weekend in Lima. And Larkin tells you any supplies that you may need, I would suggest you get them. I am happy to reimburse you for anything that you purchase as long as you provide a receipt or proof of purchase. Although I will say it can get a little bit cold in that part of Peru. The altitude changes. So if you didn't bring a warm change of clothes, I would suggest you do that.
Jack, should we have specified warm clothes in our inventory that we established with you, or can we just
No,
be like?
and you
"Thank
can
God."
you can always be like, oh hey, I packed warm clothes in my suitcase.
Mhm.
It makes no difference to me.
I can just pull the "Thank God I have this knitted sweater for my mama" card.
Yeah, sure. It doesn't impact the game really.
So
Well, I can see that
But I
from
mean,
you.
That doesn't
it's
sound
like,
like
you
something
don't want-
Harrison Dodges would say.
You probably don't want to be wearing
That
your
sounds exactly on
sick
brand.
cargo shorts into the cold highlands of Peru.
Mm.
What would Jared do?
You might.
Can I get those
I would
when were those
Cargo shorts into that.
when were those in between pants invented where I can zip off the pant leg and they become shorts?
When was the zipper invented?
God. You guys are blowing my
Before.
mind. I didn't think I was
Yeah.
going to have to do that level of research to be period accurate.
You could probably never ever be prepared enough to do any kind of campaign with us with some of the questions we're gonna ask.
1893 for the zipper.
I'm going to.
Wait, what?
1893.
Damn.
1893.
So it's a relatively
Zipper
new invention.
life.
Push back at Ruth and be like, "So Ruth, you were telling us about what you do.
Why do you
What
want
you
to
do?
know, honey?
I'm just curious. Like to know who I'm working with."
Mm.
You know, I think I'm here for the same reason we all are. The money.
It's a funny question to be asking for a guy who only gives his first name.
What's your story, Leon?
Well,
I'm gonna be circling the rim of my glass.
Ooh,
I like,
sultry.
I like look at him, just like smirk slightly out of the corner.
What's your deal?
Well, I'm kind of the person they call in to deal with some unfavorable people.
Unfavorable in
Who's
what
they?
way? Like,
Like Raccoon City?
thank you.
I exclusively
And when you deal so Leon, as you finish saying that you deal with unfavorables, Jesse kind of gesticulates with his pipe, takes it out of his mouth, and points towards you. Are you a Pinkerton, a strike breaker, or something like that? Puts his pipe back in his mouth.
not exactly. A little
I
more
lean
discreet.
For the
He
bag.
takes a long puff from his pipe. Now, so Larkin kind of pipes up. Well, if we've all eaten and are all feeling good, I must admit I'm feeling a little bit tired, so I believe I will be retiring to my quarters. I booked you all rooms at the Hotel Mori. That's a few blocks away. I believe I mentioned that in the telegram, so they'll be awaiting you. Mr. Mendoza and myself are booked at another hotel. Unfortunately, they ran out of room at the Hotel Mori, so we'll be staying separate, but you can call on us whenever you need. Was there anything
Then how
else?
do we get a hold of you?
Oh, the hotels aren't too far from one another. I'm sure anyone can point you in the right direction of where I'm staying.
All right.
And
When do we leave?
we leave on Monday. So if you meet at 8 a.m. on Monday at my hotel, the Hotel España, then I will be ready with the several trucks I've hired to take us down the coast, and that's when we'll set out.
What's in all this for you?
Money.
Oh, well-
so much money.
Well,
Yeah, I don't imagine the publishing rights will be going over to Fancy Pants over here.
Fancy
Well-
shorts, you mean?
Ah,
my interest is perhaps slightly less academic. I am also quite interested in the financial benefits that can come from this. But also, it's, I suppose, somewhat in fashion for men of my stature to set out and see other cultures and find hidden civilizations. So I suppose that may not be the answer you're looking for, but nonetheless, that's the answer that you are going to get from me.
Fascinating.
But yes, I'm sure we all stand to make a good amount of more.
boss.
Under the weather,
Good
you
night.
say, Auguste? Sorry. Under the weather, you say, Augustus?
All right. Now, Harrison, do you want to make either a spot hidden or medicine check for me?
Ooh.
I'll do spot hidden. 55 is my stat.
Is there such
All right.
thing as like assisting people in this game?
There's not really assisting people. There are situations where you can do that and give them a bonus die, but in a case like this, it would be just a separate roll for you.
I assume you have to be
Okay.
kind of unified in your cause, right?
Can I also make it a similar kind of role then?
Sure. I would say give me a spot hidden or medicine roll, your choice.
Spot hidden.
Oh
Well,
shit.
Love spot hidden.
Your skill was 55. Is that right, Matt?
Yes, sir.
You might have gotten an extreme success.
Ooh.
Hey, so I am 6 away from a success. Can I use my luck?
Mhm. Yeah,
Can
you
I
can
just
spend
subtract?
6. Yeah, you can. You can subtract
Okay.
6 luck points to succeed.
Then-
However, if you succeed using luck, you don't get to mark down the skill
Okay.
to improve it later. Yeah.
And if like, is that something where I get that back after a rest, or is it once it's gone, it's gone?
I can't remember. There might be ways to get more luck, but there are, it is a very, very rare resource in the game, rarer than your sanity points. So if you need to use it, then it's best to save it for when you really need it.
I'll
But
just save it.
Gotcha. Okay,
Does it have any interaction, Jack, with saving you from death, or do those use different kind of stats and stuff?
It's a little bit different. It's not going to, like, if you take a bullet and you start bleeding out, like, your luck points aren't going to help you, but you can use your luck points to stabilize someone, for instance, make a check.
I see.
Yeah. So yes, Harrison, you rolled a 12, which is oh wait.
Oh yeah, it's only a great success. 11 is for an extreme success.
You almost had an extreme success.
I'm sad.
You were that close.
I'm sad.
But either way, your spot hidden check, you notice that over the course of the dinner, Larkin has become much sweatier and much paler looking. He looks really, really bad. Like there's something probably wrong with him. Something is not agreeing with him.
Interesting.
Ow, my foot.
Yes. Now,
What are the other two chums doing?
What's my main man Maurice doing?
Maurice is going to take his leave when Larkin leaves. Oh, and in fact, Matt, you get a few other bits of detail about Larkin.
Okay.
With your very, very successful spot hidden roll. You're the only one who sees this. The veins on Larkin's wrist seem very, very dark, almost black, and you can see underneath his undershirt, it appears there's a tattoo of some sort on his chest. You're the only one who sees this.
Okay. Obviously, it's my choice if I want to address it with any of the other people, right?
It is, yes.
So, as far as metagaming is concerned, no one else knows this but me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yes.
Roger.
Yes. But Larkin also says to you, Harrison, that since you asked, yes, just feeling a little bit under the weather. I've always been a bit of a sickly person, but not to worry. I'm sure it won't come up at all during our ventures into the jungle. I have all of you to take care of me should anything go horribly wrong. But I do appreciate you all coming on such short notice, and I do believe we've put together quite the crew for this expedition, and I'm looking forward to get to know all of you a little bit better.
Question for you, Jack.
Yes.
To what extent are we allowed to I understand this story probably has to go in a specific way based on what your book says, but to what extent are we allowed to do, let's say, extracurricular activities? Like if I wanted to exercise my stealth to try and follow Larkin to get more information about him, would that be allowed?
Yeah, absolutely it would be.
Okay. I'll leave it up to you, like when you want me to start doing that. But
it's your choice. If you want to do that, then you can certainly do that. If you sneak out, like sort of after he leaves the dinner table, then you are more than welcome to do so.
Okay. Let me know when he's left, or I guess just say, I assume, right?
Yeah, sure thing. So maybe after he takes off, you make your excuses and you decide to tail him.
Roger.
Okay. Before we get to that, Augustus and Luis Mendoza have both left the building. You are all sitting there. A little while later, Harrison leaves the table. The four of you are still sitting at the table with Jesse Hughes. So, after they all leave, Jesse kind of looks at all of you and is like, well, I don't suppose you would all be interested in another drink?
Always.
Absolutely.
So y'all sit at the table, and once everyone is kind of petered off, Jesse looks at the four of you and he says, so, How much do you believe of that story that he just told us?
Well,
I've learned to not believe off of the first impression.
questioned the cop. He had a good answer. I believed him. Now you're saying what you're saying, and makes me question things.
And what about you, Ruth? How do you feel?
Well,
You
that.
know, I think there's treasure, and that's all I really came for. Regardless of who he is or what his intentions are, as long as I get what I want, I'll consider this a success.
You know, this could be an old bait situation. Out on the sea, you put a little bait on a fishing hook, you throw it in the water, and by God, do the fish.
You know, life isn't just fishing.
To the contrary, life is all about fishing. You can
Life-
relate any situation to a man and his fishing pole on the deep blue sea.
Life is all about risk. Measured risks. What you get.
And you don't think I take a risk out on the ocean?
Oh, you used a little bit too much bait last time, fisherman? I don't think you've done anything real in your entire life.
Damn.
Listen, I am your elder, and you have to respect me. That's your response? You know,
You know what?
Kids these days, they don't even
Are
talk.
you think
They
you're a
just
big man?
laugh.
Is that it?
No, I'm clearly shorter than you.
You know, I won't respect you until I see you. Truly see you.
After watching this display, Jesse takes a look at you, Clyde, and he says, and how about a fellow New Yorker? I'm sure you have reasons to be skeptical.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of farmer just has a gold cup hanging around, you know? And a pendant.
Right.
I don't know if that's something you find in the field and don't just go sell. You know, farmers need the cash. I think. I don't know.
Right.
I'm
The
a city
story
dweller.
seems a little bit. It seems a bit off to me, you know.
You could just like farming. I like fishing.
Yeah, but do you have a gold cup and a pendant?
Yeah.
Oh, all
Have
I
you ever
got
fished out some?
a trusty harpoon. That's all I need.
Listen, I don't necessarily doubt that there might be a pyramid, that there might be something out in the jungles of Peru for us to find necessarily. He takes a long sip from his drink, but we're a long way from home, and I feel that I need friends who I can trust. I'm assuming you all got the same telegram, the same newsreel that I got that tips me off to this expedition. Well, let me properly introduce myself. My name is not Jesse Hughes. My name is Jackson Elias. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
What's with the alias, Jackson?
Right. I guess I should probably explain that. I am, much like our new friend, Mr. Harrison Dodge, I am something of a writer from New York. I've had a modest amount of success in my dealings with, let's say, the strange. My research is primarily into cults around the world. I've written a number of books on reemergences of cults, both modern and ancient. Most recently, I was researching in India, and I was recently tipped off to here in Peru that there may be a resurrection of an old cult that I believe was spawned during the 1500s. So I came to investigate it, and after some of the research I did in the jungles of Peru, I felt like this missive from Mr. Larkin seemed a little bit too coincidental to let go.
You're sure? Cults here?
I know it must sound crazy, but I have done some research, and I'm more than willing to share what I know from the time I've spent here in Peru already.
And so, these cults, they believe in something always. So what's this cult? What do they believe in?
Fishing cult.
You don't joke around about fishing.
All right.
You know what? Tell me there, Mister, where you do your fishing?
I do my fishing in the Atlantic,
What coast?
Right.
Canadian coast,
Ah,
Nova Scotia, PEI, all the good places. So
I mean, you're a Canuck then.
I wouldn't say so. But yes.
Graydon, when you said what coast, I looked like that because I was like, there's only fucking one, and then I did the math, so I'm glad I didn't say anything. You were like, what coast? And I was like, how many fucking coasts are there? It's the Atlantic. It's the east, or sorry, the East Coast, yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
no, it's not true. It's all subjective.
Very cold waters, very big fish. They gotta be bigger to make it through the cold. That's simple fisher logic.
Right. So I believe someone was asking about what sort of cult I believe this might be.
Yes.
Before I was so rudely interrupted by my youth. Doesn't know anything about respect.
Right. Well, based on some of my preliminary research, I spent a little bit of time in Puno, which is the town that we'll be making our way to on Monday before venturing into the untamed wilds, as it were. And some of the folks in that small town have used a word called Karasiri. Now, for lack of better English term, that would be an approximate translation to vampire, or one who sucks blood or eats flesh. It's not a perfect translation necessarily. Now, I am a skeptic by nature. Whatever this supposed cult may be worshipping, I've never come across anything that suggests there's anything actually supernatural at play, but believers in these cults almost always carry out their beliefs to a T. Now, in addition to this, there have been some innocent civilians who have gone missing in recent months. During the influenza, it was thought that they might just be dying, but in more recent times, it's very clear that people are going missing. Now, take that as what you will, but that seems to indicate that something nefarious might be happening.
Yeah.
And
Fish
you
all
got any?
parted. Fish all parted on the deep blue sea. You knew there was a shark around.
All right, do we have to talk about fishing every 10 fucking seconds?
I don't
Norman,
understand.
I'm sure there's more to your personality than that. Or is that all you've got for me, my friend?
I don't know what to tell you.
Spicy.
There's a lot of fish in the ocean.
A lot of fish in the sea.
There's always another fish.
Jackson takes another long sip from his drink.
So do I. So does Clyde.
Oh,
Hey guys, I gotta run for 2 secs. I just gotta grab a charger because my phone.
Yeah.
As soon as I can.
go for it.
So
Has Harrison left, by the way, yet? Or is he still sitting at the table? I guess.
Yeah, Harrison
I've been
left.
gone this whole
Harrison
time.
left.
Okay.
So we might run into some fanatics, is what you're getting at with relation to this pyramid that we're going to.
That would be part of my concern and part of my research in the book that I'm researching. You see, all of my books always have an angle, whether it be a cult that I've researched in the past. This just so happens to be something that I'm researching for another book that I'm planning on writing. you have to admit, vampire cults in the jungles of Peru would probably sell quite a few copies.
It'd be a real
back home.
page turner.
Mhm.
You said you had two concerns. What was the other?
Did I say that he had two concerns? I don't believe I said that
No,
word for word, did I?
not exactly.
I don't think so.
It's like one part was like the cult and the vampires. I thought there was gonna be another half.
So is there any chance
Gotcha.
that this Augustus maybe trying to pull a fast one on us? Bring in some fresh meat?
That yes, that would be my concern. That's he might be exhausting. He might have exhausted his resources within the area that they're confined to, and he might be hoping to bring us into the fold, as it were, for the cult, for whatever they may be doing, whether it be human sacrifice or what have you.
So what are you suggesting here? That we get some wooden stakes and keep them in our back pockets, or?
Oh, no. As I said, these people are not actually vampires. They're probably just crazed fanatics who are worshipping something that we don't exactly understand. But I have been digging up what I can during my time here. I've made friends with a professor of anthropology at the Museum of Anthropology and Archaeology here in town, a man named Nemesio Sanchez. He is an expert in Peruvian history and culture and has tried on many occasions to join the expedition and would be of value to an expedition such as this, but he's been rebuffed at every turn by Mr. Augustus Larkin, which doesn't necessarily bode well for, the legitimacy of such an expedition. So I would be more than happy to introduce you to Nemesio. I was planning on meeting him at the university tomorrow. He said he has some new information to show me. I think that could certainly be of use to us once we do choose to venture into those hills.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I might join you if you don't mind.
Me
I
as
would be
well.
more than happy to have you along. Yeah,
I would
of
also
course.
like to come along.
There's no fish
Absolutely.
there, Norman.
That's why I'm here. You're right. There's more than just fish.
Norman, no.
In addition to what I've already told you, I managed to find out that our mutual friend Mr. Larkin has already tried to recruit a few locals to try and help him with this pyramid, and they've all turned down his offers. And from what I've gathered, he seems to be a somewhat affluent man. He must have some money if he's willing to put this expedition together. I'm sure if the people here in Peru aren't willing to take his money, what the hell is Matt doing?
Yeah, he's getting a real interesting POV here. I don't know. I like it.
Hello, everyone. Sorry.
Why are you-
What are you doing? What are you?
This is a
Oh,
this is a hoodie.
Oh.
I put it over my legs because
Is
I was
it?
getting bit by mosquitoes. I'm sorry. My phone.
I thought you were taking your sweat.
You just pulled your pants down.
man,
No,
you're like the Zoom meeting guy all over again.
Oh, God.
Okay, I'm sorry to be a pain in the ass, guys. My phone is on the fritz and it just doesn't seem to be charging anymore. So give me 5 minutes. I have to take the dog inside, put her in her kennel, and sprint downstairs and join this thing on my computer, okay?
No worries, no worries.
I'll be
There's
as
no
quick as I
rush.
can.
Okay. All right.
So, what say
Yes.
you, Ruth? Are you gonna join us with the professor tomorrow?
Why not? Jackson, you've impressed me.
Uh,
More to you than I thought.
Glad to hear that. Well, I'm happy to make your acquaintance, ma'am. Now, did y'all have any other questions before we turn in for the night?
No, I'm going to bed. These old bones, they ain't what they used to be.
Hey, Norman, how old are you exactly?
Predates.
You
the
don't
pyramid.
look that old. I mean, we're out here in the jungle to climb a pyramid, and if you need a walker, I'd be a little concerned.
I'm
There's no boat to carry you up this mountain.
I'm 61 or 60 or something around there.
I think in 1921 you would be 61 based on what we said. Because I think you said you wanted to be 65.
Yes. I'm 61.
So, Norman, what inspires a 60-year-old to embark on this type of adventure?
Well,
You wanted a bigger fish to fry.
I spent Leon.
Oh.
Life's not all about fish. No, I was just tired of my lonely life on the sea with nothing but my boat, Marie. And
Marie.
I got.
He's looking longfully into the distance like Marie is a real boat.
Marie must have been one hell of a ship.
I just was time to move on. Try to find something, make something of my life.
At
Put a
60.
legacy on this world. You're not going to be here forever. You're not going to be here forever.
You only got maybe 20 more years.
If that. I don't even have a dentist.
Is that me? I don't even have a dentist? Is that a normal thing to slip into conversation?
Isn't 61 already pretty old for the 1920s? Feel like you did pretty good.
Well,
You made it survive through the war.
When you work through the community, you gotta work real hard and you get real strong. I may not look like it, but when I was younger, Ruth, I could have swept you off your feet.
Oh, God.
I would have liked to see you try.
Well, I could try now.
Oh.
I might drop you.
Careful, Tommy, you might break a hip.
Don't worry, Clyde. You can get in there and help him out.
Hips. I have no more hips to break.
Jesus. Hey,
It's a good thing you had
Clyde,
that
we
dentist.
established that you're from Halifax, right?
Hmm.
I think that's what you said. Your hometown was
Norman.
Halifax?
Norman.
Norman, sorry.
Norman,
Sorry,
yeah.
Norman.
I was like, I'm from New York.
Yeah. It can take me a second to get used to the names. But that's what we said, right?
Stupid dog.
The Halifax disaster would have happened like 4 years ago, where like all of Halifax blew up.
Yeah, that was a pretty.
Oh my
That was-
god. Norman, was your boat involved?
Why do you think he's here? It's a bit.
He needs the money to get a new Marie.
He didn't. You see, his story had plot holes. He didn't choose to leave Marie. Marie was taken from him in a mighty explosion.
chose to leave him.
Man, that wasn't supposed to be revealed till season 3.
Marie and I
God.
were on a fishing. We're doing a fishing job down near New York at that time.
Oh.
It was a tragic thing to come back to. The trap and kill destroyed my best friends in the world. Never saw them again.
fish?
It really puts your life in perspective. Which is why I moved on and why I'm here today.
Going an expedition to a pyramid.
Fair enough, Norman.
At this point, Jackson is like getting ready to leave. He's like, well, thank you for entertaining these thoughts, and look forward to making our way to the museum tomorrow.
Yeah, hey Jackson, should we just meet you in the lobby of the hotel or something?
Yeah, I think that that would be a good idea. We'll meet tomorrow morning, say 10 o'clock.
Perfect.
10 sounds
Bit of a
fine with
later
me.
start. Gives you all a chance to rest up, sleep in after a couple long days worth of travel.
All right,
right.
sounds good.
So,
I'd like to
if
try
there's-
to find a local newspaper or something.
Sure. Yeah, it's easy enough to find. This is a nice restaurant, so if Jackson helps translate for you, since nobody speaks Spanish, but Jackson actually is fluent in Spanish, so he asks someone for a newspaper, and from behind the bar, they manage to get one for you. It is in Spanish.
Okay. Well, I was
You-
just
I
going
don't
to
think
look
you-
for. Yeah, no, I don't know Spanish. For like news on how the locals feel about him. And
You sound like a robot there, Grid.
Yeah, sorry, you're breaking up a little bit there, Graydon.
bap, 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 bap. How about now?
You're good.
You're good.
I think you're back.
All right. Yeah, I just wanted to find like news on Larkin.
See his picture in the news.
Sure.
Yeah, see if how the locals feel about him and his expedition.
It's like a survey.
50% of people do not like Larkin. 25% find him unfavorable.
What is Larkin's approval rating here in Lima?
What's his Yelp review for his expedition?
Yeah.
3% did not understand the
5
question.
stars.
2% were not alive
All right.
to respond to it.
Yeah, did
So,
not qualify.
you want to make a language other roll for me?
Oh, language
Clyde?
other.
See if you can get the 1% to see if you can miraculously somehow translate Spanish.
I thought what's his name was helping me.
Jackson?
You know what? Sure, I'll give you a bonus die since you're doing it with Jackson.
Okay, and how does that work?
Wouldn't that subtract from
you-
your current die?
No. A bonus die is you roll the 10 die twice, or you roll a second one, and take the lowest of the two. Then a penalty die is you do the same thing but take the higher of the two. It's a little bit like advantage and disadvantage in
Okay.
D&D.
So I just re-roll the 10 die.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you right now, I got the exact same thing twice. No, I didn't do it.
What'd you get?
I got 76.
That's a shame. Yeah. Well, with Jackson's help, you do find the same article that you have already read in English. That's a man named Augustus Larkin is looking for expedition members. This one is just written in Spanish, but you don't find any other information regarding Augustus Larkin.
Right. I'm gonna finish my drink and head off.
Okay, so in that case, Harrison, unless anyone else has anything they want to do, I'm assuming the four of you just go back to the hotel with Jackson.
It's Metal Gear Harrison time, boys.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Harrison. All right.
I'll be right back.
What's your stealth skill?
75.
You know, a rich man, I wouldn't associate them with being stealthy. I don't know why.
Neither.
but,
Hey,
like,
Batman.
How do you?
Batman.
I
Yeah,
guess, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I have a lot of skills that I picked up on my travels in the world.
You rolled a 17, so you are very stealthy right now.
Oh, still, dude, that's the second time that's been like inches off of the extreme good.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Yeah. Now,
So my intention is just to follow Larkin back to
Mhm.
his hotel room and observe his like behavior, like see if I can get any impression on what this sickness it is. I'm basically just looking for information
So-
on him, and I also want to know what his hotel room is.
Like,
so
are you
I
gonna
guess
like listen at the door, sort of thing? Like,
so my plan is just to follow him where he goes, hopefully without being detected, and try and gain information. Is that enough for you to kind of take the lead on how the
Yes,
story goes?
it is.
Okay,
and I've already made a roll regarding that.
cool.
So, in the since it's March and it's quite late at night, it is dark on the streets.
Mhm.
There's a little bit of light, from adjacent buildings, and I'm not sure if they would have like street lamps in this part of the world in this time period. But it's well lit enough, but not so much that you can't stick to the shadows. Larkin and Luis both make their way a couple blocks from the restaurant. I think the restaurant is very close to their hotel, but let me just get my handy dandy map ready.
Ooh, a map. I think they said that. I remember them saying that their hotel was close to ours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's literally like maybe 2 or 3 blocks
Mhm.
away from the restaurant.
Mhm.
So it only takes them a couple minutes to get back to their hotel. But sure enough, you get through, and you see the Hotel España. You see Mendoza and Larkin both make their way into the front doors, completely oblivious that you have followed them there.
Excellent.
You can see that Larkin seems to be deteriorating fast. Like, whatever is wrong with him, he seems very, very tired. And Mendoza kind of like helps him along a little bit, but not too much. And
Okay.
they do make their way into the hotel. Do you want to follow them?
How far behind them can I reasonably follow them without them knowing? Or sorry, I will not really that. How far can I reasonably follow them before I would lose them?
Since you rolled so well on your stealth check,
Okay.
and they failed their spot hidden check, they have no clue that you're there.
Okay.
And as long as you follow at a decent distance, they will not know that you're there.
Okay.
You can follow them into the hotel. I would say you can follow them into the hotel, past reception, without anybody noticing you, and then see what rooms they're in respectively.
Okay, that's what I'd like to do then.
Sure. So, as you get up to the floor that their rooms are on, you see that Mendoza.
I'll mute myself.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good, man. You see that Mendoza helps Larkin into one room, and then like briefly enters another room, which you assume is his. But then Mendoza quickly comes right back out and starts making his way down towards the exit.
Is he going in my direction? Am I in danger of being discovered?
He is going in your direction.
Okay.
Could you make it another stealth check for? What's your stealth again? 75?
A lot of stealth.
Yeah, you did even better. You rolled a 15 that time.
Okay. My extreme threshold is 15. Does that mean I get it, or?
You need to be below 15 to get an extreme success.
Damn it! That's the third time
You're so
that's
close.
happened to me.
That is still a hard success.
I mean, that's nothing to complain about, I guess. Okay, so I morph into the wallpaper, and he walks right past me. Yep.
Yeah, he goes down and out, and he's gone. He disappears into the Peruvian night.
Okay, I lose track of him.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're going to follow him.
Given the option, I would like to follow him.
I mean, you can, or you can investigate the two rooms that you know belong to them.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Wait, no, hang on, sorry.
Okay.
Do I want to do that? I think I want. I mean, I wanted to know their room numbers, but I also kind of wanted to understand if there's any stealth, or sorry, if there's anything sketchy in the situation.
You know what? In this case, what's your intelligence?
It's 70.
70. Okay, so I just made what's called an idea roll for you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like when you're not really sure what to do, you roll your intelligence, and you got a 50. Your intelligence is 70, so you feel like it would be prudent to maybe search their rooms, particularly maybe Mendoza's room, while you know he's not around.
Okay, then sounds good. I like that. Yeah. That's a cool mechanic. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So are you going to investigate Mendoza's room or Larkin's room?
Well, Larkin's in his room, isn't he?
Larkin is in his room, but he did say he was going to go to bed, so I mean, you could always run the risk.
Yeah, and well, I would probably just have to do another stealth check, right?
Yeah, potentially.
Okay, I'll do Mendoza's room.
Okay. Man, it's loud in this hotel.
Yeah,
no visitors after dark. Come on,
just a little atmosphere, boys. Just a little
I'm
atmosphere.
Gonna mute myself for just a second, Jack. Just let me know when you need me to do something again.
Sure.
What happens if you fail the idea check?
Then you don't have an idea. Yeah, you're not sure what happens. Yeah, since Matt is doing something in the game right now, I kind of need him to be here, but we'll just give him a sec. How you guys enjoying it? You like the game so far?
Yeah, no, interesting.
Yeah, it's good.
Good. I'm having a really good time. I'm fumbling around a little bit, but for the most part, it's a good start. I
Yeah.
feel, and it's just like anything. I'll get used to it, and we'll do better in the future. But don't tell Matt this because it'll go to his head. But it's really good that he decided to do this.
Yeah.
It's really good that he decided to do this. I didn't think this was going to happen, but all right,
I'm
he's
back.
back.
I'm back.
Okay. So, Mendoza's room, Mr. Matthew.
Yes.
Inside Mendoza's room, you find that there is nothing. There is no luggage. There is nothing of any value. He has no personal effects. He has no toiletries. Oh, that's cute. He has absolutely nothing. The bed is made. It's fresh. It has not been slept in. This looks like if you had just checked into a hotel room and basically had done nothing.
Okay, so he's basically not
The
staying in the room.
Basically,
Okay.
yeah. There is one thing. There is a single piece of a single object within the room. What it looks like is the bottom half of like a traditional face mask. It's sort of like a flat pressed gold, or maybe it's like been embellished with gold leaf, and it looks like the bottom half of a face. You see there's like ears to it, and then at the front there's sort of like where a mouth would be and where teeth would be.
Mhm.
But upon closer inspection, do you want to make either an appraise or an archaeology roll
I'll do a
for me?
praise.
Okay,
It's 5.
5.
Come through for me, rolls, please.
You rolled a fucking 3.
Let's go.
Jeez.
Let's go.
Okay, make sure to mark down in the box next to appraise.
Yes.
Because you'll get to improve your appraise potentially.
Let's go.
Damn, dude.
What?
So-
What?
You realize that from looking at this object that it's of a similar design to the 2 artifacts that you guys were shown at dinner.
Okay, so it's a third artifact that Mendoza is potentially hiding from everybody else.
Potentially.
That's my deduction as my character, but I'm saying it in my character's head and therefore not saying it in his accent.
Mhm. Yeah. Yes. And that is all that there is in this room. It's
Okay.
just this thing. And upon closer inspection, it seems to be reflective. You can see your reflection in it.
Mhm. Okay, well, I suppose I can't really take it, obviously, because that would be a bad play. So I have a notepad. I'm gonna write down information about the mask, so I know all that I know about it, and I'm gonna leave the room.
Okay, sounds good.
Um,
Just 1 second. So, since you were observing this guy for a little while, at least long enough to make an appraisal roll, what's your power characteristic?
my power is 45.
You're not being picked up there, Jack.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
I'm not? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it went quiet for a sec. We can hear you now.
Okay, all good. Okay, so as you examine this guy, it just seems like a regular old artifact to you. So you put it back?
Mhm.
Okay, you put it back where you found it and you exit the room.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you'd like to do?
I think I'm just gonna go back to my room. I think I've played out my luck for tonight.
Okay, sounds good. So you make your way out into the night streets, quiet as a whisper, and make your way to your hotel room. And unless there's anything else anyone would like to do tonight, we will skip ahead forward to tomorrow.
That's good
All
with
right.
me.
Let's do it.
Sounds good. So a new day comes, and you all get a nice night's rest. And then the four of you who were with Jackson at the table last night meet him at the agreed time at 10. Harrison, what are you doing? Because you were not part of that conversation.
Shoot,
what time do you
I
wake
literally was not actually even physically present when you guys had that conversation, so I got no idea what you guys are talking. That's metagaming. That's metagaming to an extreme. Well, the opposite of that.
What's your luck? How many luck points do you have?
45.
As it just so happens, you wake up just in time to make it downstairs and see all of your compatriots gathered in the foyer of the hotel.
Ooh, okay.
Around
okay.
10 o'clock.
Okay, allow me to make my introduction. Compatriots, lady. Good morning to everybody. How was your night at the bar last night?
Harrison,
Not considered a compatriot.
where'd you disappear to last night?
I thought you had you
I don't
went
know
yellow
if it's my
bellied.
connection or yours, but I didn't hear what you said there, Jared.
Oh, I said, do you not consider Ruth a compatriot? Or
I'm waiting for your answer.
Is it just a party right now?
It's the party and the man you were introduced to as Jesse Hughes.
I value her much more than that, Ruth. Promise you that. Oh, sorry, my lady. I apologize. Is it just us, or is one of the other three NPCs?
It's just you. Jesse Hughes is there.
Okay.
The man you were introduced to as Jesse Hughes.
NPC.
The
Because I know,
African-American man from
because
New
I
York.
assume that Jesse Hughes is with the other two guys. Actually,
Oh, I guess yeah. You wouldn't know.
can I do another idea roll, Jack?
What are you trying to discern?
It's just I'm just trying to decide if I wanna like talk to Jesse about it, since I know that Jesse and Mendoza obviously have some animosity.
I don't think
just blowing off Ruth?
I think he did succeed on the psychology roll to know that.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Can I make? I was just wondering if I can make an idea roll to figure out if I want to tell everybody else about it while he's there. Because
Yeah,
as
I'll
far as
allow
I'm
it.
concerned, Jesse is with Jess. As far as
oh, come on, Matt. Come on. We need you to
Louise
pull through,
found
buddy.
out.
Oh, he's dead.
He
I
just
didn't notice.
he just got his fucking neck snapped by Luis Mendoza.
Yeah.
Plot twist.
He was real all along.
Yeah, he failed all those checks. Actually, that's what happened.
All right.
Well, I'm
Here's what
glad
we'll do.
Mr. Harrison wants to be with us.
We'll wait for Matt's connection to buff out, and in the meantime, we'll have a conversation in the foyer with you guys. And
oh no,
come on.
Hello.
There it is. Okay, perfect.
Can
All right, we'll continue. Yes, you wanted to make an idea
everybody
roll.
hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
I don't know.
Can you,
No.
Matt? Can you hear us? Damn it!
Chad?
No, I don't think I'll make
Internet.
an idea roll.
Oh.
I can. It's just a little laggy. It's laggy just because I asked if you guys could hear me like a good chunk of time.
Right. All right. Well, if Matt can hear us,
My bad. Look, I'm even on my data, so my Wi-Fi
Hmm.
can screw me over.
it's always
Can you
worse.
guys hear me okay now?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you totally fine. Can you hear us?
Shit.
Can you hear us?
I don't think he can hear us.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, I think we're probably good. Yes, I can. I've elected to. Oh, sorry. It keeps muting me.
No, it doesn't.
You guys can hear me now?
Yeah,
I
Yes.
can hear you guys, and you can
Yes,
hear me.
we're good. We can hear you.
I think what's
Okay.
happening is it's coming through like hella delayed. Like you guys are getting the things that I say like a good 60 seconds after I say it.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we'll save everyone a
Okay,
little bit
here's
of
a test.
heartache
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
What was the point of that?
I love that Jack. Every time Jack tries to start talking, Matt's like, "Okay, let's test this."
First episode, folks.
All right.
Working out the bugs.
Well,
You
it's
guys,
gonna-
that was actually 60 seconds.
Oof. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna wait until Matt sorts his stuff out. In the meantime, Jesse Hughes, whose actual name, as we all know, is now Jackson Elias, introduces himself proper to Mr. Harrison Dodge, and they recognize, or Jackson recognizes Harrison from some of his writing. Jackson is a prolific reader and is familiar with some of Harrison's work. In the meantime, you've all gathered in the foyer of the Hotel Mari, where you're all staying. And Jackson greets you all. I hope you all had a good enough sleep.
I did, thanks, Jackson. How about you?
Oh, well, you know, my mind's always racing, but I'm excited to see what we might learn at the museum today.
It's kind of weird sleeping without all the noise of the city.
I would agree with that, but not quite the same as sleeping on the ocean, as I'm sure you did the past few nights.
Hey, yeah, you're right about
Why,
that.
do you want me to yell outside your hotel room? Make it a little more home feeling?
I'd be out like a light, you wouldn't even know.
Leon, I was actually kind of curious. You said you're a man who, when I questioned you about your job last night, you seemed a little bit reticent to give us a full rundown of what you do. I was wondering if you might illuminate us a little bit more, let us know who you really are, what it is you do.
I'll do that when Ruth lets us know what she does.
I believe the man asked you a question. I wasn't involved, tough guy.
God.
No,
this
no,
is
no.
why I hated coming on shore. You people are crazy. Oh, I have a deep, dark secret. We get
Ruth,
it.
I think if we know who the tough guy is, it's Mr. Norman over there.
You know what?
Right.
Fine. I don't mind telling you what I do. But you have to promise not to laugh.
I promise.
I'm a
Sure.
boxer.
Like you pack boxes.
No, Ruth, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the senile old man that seems to be with us.
I pack boxes! Oh, Evan. Never change, Evan. Never change.
Is that like professional boxing?
I wouldn't call it professional per se.
You used to like
You mean
on the street kind of thing? Or a little extra cash?
yeah, you mean you're like an underground boxer?
Listen, I don't want to get into any details, but I do what I believe in. I believe. You guys wouldn't understand.
Try us.
Well, Leon, I believe I said what I do. I think you have a promise to uphold.
And you believe in packing boxes.
I want to hear no more of that joke.
Ah, Harrison. You're such a charmer, aren't you?
Hey, someone's got to pack the box.
Oh my goodness.
Right. Well,
Leon, it's your
well,
turn.
maybe we can walk and talk. You know, I wouldn't want to keep the professor waiting
Yeah,
at
I
the
think that's a
university
good idea.
too long.
We do have an appointment to uphold.
Agreed.
That we do.
I'm sorry.
To the
Someone
appointment.
talking to me right now? I don't even know.
No, you're good. You're good, Matt. Session one. Session one.
right,
We're gonna
let's
work
head
out
to
the
that
kinks,
museum.
everyone.
Onward to the
Yeah.
museum.
To the museum.
So, you all make your way to the museum, to the university. There's a pretty decent public transit system here in Lima. There are streetcars. I think you can hail a taxi, but from what I've read, I believe the streetcar system can take you all the way to the university without any issue. So you all ride for a decent fare without issue. You can do that without spending too much money. It won't, bankrupt you or anything like that. It's probably a couple cents to ride the streetcar. When you arrive, you find the university, an old building. Jackson explains that it was founded in 1551, making it the oldest university, post-secondary institute, not just in South America, but the Americas in general, which is pretty unique. Let's see. It's a 2-story stone building painted a dark yellow with a park out front. It's very pretty to look at. Jackson takes you all inside the main building, and you make your way down some corridors to an office on the ground floor. And Jackson introduces you to Professor Sanchez. Professor Sanchez is a man in his mid-30s with dark, swept-back hair and a well-groomed beard, and a pair of thin glasses over top of his face. It's weird. The viewers aren't going to know this at all, but the picture they have of the professor in the book, he looks like Ash. So,
Oh yeah.
there's a visual, a visual for you. So, yeah. The professor introduces himself. I am pleased to make your acquaintance. My name is Professor Ignacio Sanchez, and I'm glad to meet you all. I understand you are here with the expedition?
Yeah.
We're here with big promises.
And forgive me for asking a question, but do any of you have a background in archaeology or anthropology?
Can't say I do.
Sorry, Doc.
Not here.
Oh. That
Not
is
here.
most disappointing because, I have tried to make my way onto the expedition team a few different times, made my services available to Mr. Larkin, but he has not gotten back to me. I thought someone with my skill level may be invaluable to such an expedition. But I suppose it is what it is. No.
Have you been
Jack.
given a reason as to why you can't come?
No, I have not been given any reason. Most of the time, I am simply ignored by Mr. Larkin. On the few occasions when I have asked, he has completely rebuffed me and told me that my services are not needed. But it is strange to me that he does not have anybody on his expedition team with archaeologic background. I thought that would be something that would be pertinent to his expedition. You can see that his main language is definitely Spanish, but he speaks like good enough English that you guys can communicate with him quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something's not sitting right. Why would he
No,
not have you go on when he's taking random people like us on this expedition?
That
Perhaps
was
he needs someone
my,
expendable.
A ghost.
right. That was my concern as well. Are you good now, Matt? Are you up to date? Is there anything?
I'm gonna say no.
Depends. If you're happy, clap your hands.
Good enough?
It's like a modest delay.
Okay. Well,
I'll just
I'll
be
still
quiet.
try and fill you in. I'll fill you in to the best of my abilities. So, Jesse Hughes, who you met last night, the American man, introduced himself as a man actually named Jackson Elias. He's a writer from New York who is investigating cult activity in Peru.
Okay. And has he communicated that to Harrison now, or do I still think he's
He
his
has,
Jesse?
yes.
Okay.
He has
Did I
told you
tell
that
him
since-
about what happened last night?
You have not told anyone about that yet.
Okay. Okay. I'll probably use the opportunity at some point in this conversation that we're currently having to do that.
Sure thing. You are currently having a conversation at the university in Lima. You're having a conversation with a man named Professor Sanchez. Jesse is there, or sorry, Jackson is there, and the rest of the party is there
Okay.
as well. Yeah. Yes. So Professor Sanchez continues. That was my concern as well. I believe that whatever Mr. Larkin may be planning, it could be perhaps damaging to the history of Peru, and I believe my only recourse is to do research and beat him to this pyramid. In that, our mutual friend, Mr. Jackson Elias, has been helping me, and I also have an undergrad student of mine helping us do a little bit of research. She has been staying up many nights and believes she has found something that may be of use to us in our endeavors. I believe she should be along momentarily to show us what she has found. But I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have regarding Peru and her history while we wait.
Jackson mentioned a cult of sorts that he's researching. Do you happen to have any known knowledge about any cults that are something of a vampire descent?
It is not outside the realms of possibility for it to be local folklore. It doesn't ring any bells necessarily from what I know from my own study, but there are many myths of monsters and things of somewhat demonic nature in many parts of South America. Many cultures have different ideas of how it may be. From what Jackson and I have gathered, this may be a superstition that was brought over with the Europeans in the 16th century, and may have continued to spread since then. But I do not know. If my student, Trinidad Rizzo, comes along anytime soon, then hopefully she will have found something. But
Is there anything
I do
related to
apologize.
cannibalism?
Cannibalism.
There are some mentions of various peoples potentially practicing cannibalism throughout the history of the Americas, but nothing that jumps out at me in particular from my research. I must apologize. My student should be here by now. I don't suppose you all would be interested in maybe fetching her. She's probably in the storeroom. It's just down the hallway. There's a staircase that leads down into the storerooms and the boiler room. It's underneath my office. Do you think you could go and see if you can find her for me?
Yeah, I got you,
I'll
Professor.
I'll head over there too. Oh god, the old man's going. I'm staying with Ruth.
Of course I'm going.
Okay.
Yeah, me and
so
Norman are going.
is anyone else going?
I'll go. I'll go with the old man. I'll protect him. He might need two people to help him down the stairs.
Sounds good. Okay. So could I get a luck roll from you three? So it's just look at what your luck is and try and roll underneath that number.
Are you playing a board game?
They don't understand. I've told them multiple times. They don't get it.
Are you?
Yep. Are you fucking
it's
nerd, Graydon?
Yes. Multiple people know this.
Why are you just sitting there rolling dice for no reason?
I'm doing it alone, little do they know.
I had an extreme success.
You have an extreme success.
Yes.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I think I'm somewhere. I don't know. I'm just looking up the chart
I
right
had a
now.
normal
I think I got-
success.
Okay.
I
Oh, are you going as well, Bruce? Are you going to
Oh,
go down
sorry.
to the
I
storeroom?
thought I was included. No, I was not going.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're just chilling, I just need the people who are going down to the storeroom to
Ah.
roll it for me.
Never mind
I
then.
got 32. Pass.
32. So you succeed as well.
Mhm.
So
I got
As you
a
all-
extreme success, like the best one you can get.
I'm gonna
Okay.
stay with the nice lady and read some books.
You gotta.
okay, sounds good. So Norman, Clyde, and Leon, you all make your way down the hallway. You find the staircase that the professor mentioned. It takes you into a sort of dark and cramped corridor underneath the main campus. There's various pipes, and it's a little bit hot down here, but eventually you do make your way to what appears to be a large storeroom. Could I get a listen roll from the three of you?
Uh-oh. What
I just a
does
regular success.
what does 000
Okay.
mean again?
000 is 10.
Oh, sick. What?
That 000, isn't that 100?
Not the way that I read the D100. I say that you always add the smaller die to the larger die. So in that case, you have the ones place, and then you're adding a 10 to it.
Okay. I pass, but just pass only.
Okay.
Success, normal success.
Did you
I just failed.
just barely? All right. So you two can mark down listen on your sheets. You'll get a chance to try and improve that later.
I really wish I could get one of these days.
I'm sorry, man. Maybe someday you'll succeed in a role.
Great,
Try
and listen,
using my
it
I
took
did-
me like 10 attempts to pick up my spear. You gotta catch up, man.
Yeah. No, I did good with the luck. About it.
Yeah. So, you two, as you are kind of making your way down the corridor, you hear the shuffling inside the room, and it sounds like there's a scuffle of some sort going on, and you also hear a woman scream.
I'm gonna. Can I?
Do
can
I
like
do I
run
not hear
down?
scream?
Sorry? I didn't hear what you said, Jared.
I was gonna say, can I like run into the room then? Like, can I pick up my pace? I would like to pick up my
absolutely.
pace and run into the room.
Okay.
Hey, what the hell you running for?
There's something going on in
I'm
that
walking
room.
here.
No, I didn't just
All right.
say so, and I'll take on after him.
I stay
All
back
right,
a
so-
little bit. I'm cautious as I follow them quickly.
Don't lie, you can't keep up in your old age.
Okay. So, Leon, as you pick up your pace and press through, you see that the door is ajar, and you push it open into a room lined with shelving units full of boxes filled with probably artifacts, all immaculately laid out. And down a long corridor of these shelving units, you see a man hunched over what appears to be a woman. Looks like
Oh,
he's possibly attacking her. You can't really tell. What do you do?
All right. I'm going to. I'm gonna like yell at him and be like, "Hey, what are you doing over there? What's going on?"
Okay. So, as you yell out, the man sort of stops what he's doing and stands up and turns and looks towards you down this long corridor, and you can clearly tell that it's Luis Mendoza, but instead of his face, there is a fanged mouth that is just exposed like a leech with hundreds of like tiny teeth pouring out of this bulbous circular mouth.
Clyde.
And he starts running at you.
Oh, Clyde! Clyde!
All three of us see that?
I
Right
at
now,
the door yet?
Leon is the only one at the door.
Damn.
I need to know what everyone's dexterity is, because we're about to enter combat.
Ugh.
Roll for initiative.
Ugh.
My dexterity is 50.
Mine's 45.
Okay.
Do you need mine as well?
55.
I only need well, actually, I do
The
need everyone's.
old- The old man is the most dexterous of the three of us.
That's what happens when you live your life on a fishing boat.
That's true. Life on the sea.
So,
Like-
so you had 55, Norman.
Yeah.
55. Leon had a dex of 50. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. And Clyde.
I had 45.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to have to explain how combat works, but that should be no problem. All right. So, Luis Mendoza is going to go first.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. Fuck.
Shit. Why do I feel
Yeah.
like I'll lose my first character?
All right. So, Luis is going to roll to stick out his weird, wormy, leechy mouth. He
Ew.
runs all the way down this corridor, like at an inhuman pace, and like gets to you at the end of this corridor. And he's going to roll to attack you. Oh no! He fails. He rolled his skill. He failed the attack. His chance to hit. He has a 60% in his fighting skill in this case,
Holy
and he rolled a
shit.
60.
Dang.
So that's his turn. Next, it's Norman. Norman goes next in dexterity order. So
Oh,
Norman,
no.
you're ways down the corridor.
Do I see him yet?
What you probably saw was you saw Leon go down the hallway, throw open a door, shout something, and then like enter very quickly a few seconds later into some sort of grapple against an entity that you can't see. You just
okay.
see that Leon is doing something.
That's
Okay.
yeah. Check your
well-
prescription.
What Norman is gonna
Hold
do?
on, I need my fighting glasses.
No, he won't. Norman is gonna take a little 180 turn and GTFO.
Well, that's an option. That's an option.
I cannot believe this.
I'm out of there. So what do I need to do?
Sorry, there is an option in the book for running away from combat. I think you automatically succeed, but I just need to double check.
Oh my god.
Well, you see, it's 4 o'clock. He has to go make the early bird special.
My goodness.
He's got to make it to Applebee's in time. He wants his peppercorn steak.
Not a peppercorn steak.
Peppercorn salmon.
Oh my god! Holy shit, dude!
I can't believe, Norman, if I survive this, you are never hearing the end of it.
Oh, it's so funny.
Do you think the old man's gonna help you fight?
Oh, I figured, with age comes wisdom. He can come down there.
I don't want to prolong this, and I can't find the ruling just in the book off the top of my head. So I'm going to say that you succeed in running away. You're out of there, Norman.
Wow.
You're fucking out of there. Okay. Okay, Clyde, it's your turn in the dexterity order.
So where, have I gotten to the door yet, or?
I think what you did was you rushed past Norman. So yeah, I would say you can get to the door quite easily in your combat round.
Oh, I can get to the door.
Quite easily. You get to where Leon is, and as soon as you kind of get over top of Leon's shoulder, you can see he is grappling with a human dressed in a suit, but where this human's mouth would be is like an alien, like horrific visage full of biting teeth that's trying desperately to hurt your new friend.
And be like, oh, what the fuck? And I'm gonna back down like 10, 15 feet. I'm gonna pull my revolver from my shoulder.
Ooh,
Okay.
I'm just gonna point down the
So-
hallway, and I'm gonna wait for.
this is America.
Okay. You're gonna wait.
Well, I'm gonna wait for them to come outside of the door so that I could potentially get a shot without hitting my buddy.
Okay. So
Buddies.
I'm going to consider that as taking the aim action, which is something you can do.
Okay.
So what that means is on the next round, you get plus 50 to your dexterity because you've readied your gun.
Oh.
And I believe when you aim, you get a bonus die. But since you're attacking people who are in melee with one another, you get a penalty die. So you'll make a roll as normal. But you'll get to do it at the top of the combat round. So as they're struggling, Mendoza kind of pushes Leon further out of the door and up against the wall behind him, where there's some pipes and some brickwork from whatever they were from the construction, and he's pinned Leon up against the wall, and you have a clear shot. So it is now your turn because you get the plus 50. You're going to take a shot at Mendoza.
Bang bang.
Okay, make it happen.
So I get
To the moon.
50 was for the dex. Like in my turn in combat, I don't add it or subtract it to anything.
So what happens is when you have a readied gun, it's easier to fire a gun than to throw a punch or whatever. It doesn't take as long, so you get plus 50 to your dexterity. So your current dexterity is 95 to fire your gun because you have your gun ready.
Okay.
So you're at the top of the combat round with your gun.
Alrighty, here we go.
Bangarang.
Oh man, that's really good. I got a 9,
Wow.
No shit.
which is that's one shy of a crit success.
Okay. So, a hard success, I think you still do more damage than normal in that case. Just let me go
Man.
and take a look-see.
I was wondering if Leon was going to get a bullet right away here.
Man,
Wouldn't be the
that'd
first
be-
character that we made in a D&D campaign that's taken a hit from my teammate.
No. No, it wouldn't be.
I don't have the best luck with my characters in D&D. To say the least.
Can confirm.
So you also have to remind me, Jack, because I remember reading. I think I can get like 3 attacks with the firearm
Yes,
at once.
so in a single round, you can fire a revolver 3 times,
Okay.
but every shot past the first one has a penalty die.
Okay, well I'm just gonna stick with the one for right now anyway.
Okay. Also, Leon, did we skip your turn in the combat round? I can't remember.
I haven't gone yet.
Right. So you were actually before. You were before Clyde. So if you want to make like an attack roll with your fists or whatever, I would allow you to do that real quick while I get the ruler.
Sure, I wouldn't have enough time to reach for my knife, right?
You could potentially reach for your knife.
I wouldn't be able to get an attack away with it, or would I be able to get an attack with it?
You would because it's your turn in the combat round. So yes, you can.
Okay, I'd like to. When he hits me against the wall, I'd like to try to go for my knife as quickly as I can.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So roll a fighting brawl check for me.
Okay.
You two are dangerous. Guns, knives.
Ooh, I did a hard
Hey, you're a
success.
boxer.
Hard success.
Okay, so a knife is a 1d4 damage,
Mm-hmm.
plus I think another d4 for a hard success.
Okay. All right, I did 5 damage.
5
And-
damage.
Oh, yeah. Plus 2, so I did 7 damage.
What's the plus 2 from?
I don't know. When I wrote it down here, I have 1d4 plus 2 plus 0. That's what we had written down.
Okay. Yes, I think that's the base damage of a knife. So,
Yeah, I've got
so
something
you
similar from
did
mine.
you did 7 or 6
Yeah,
points of damage.
7 points of damage.
Okay. All right. So now. Oh, I'm sorry. So actually, Luis is going to try and oppose that roll. Sorry,
Okay.
Ron. I'm still figuring out combat.
No,
a little
no
bit,
worries, no
but,
worries.
So you rolled. What did you roll, Jared?
For
your
my hard success,
yeah.
I rolled a 22.
Okay. So, Luis is going to try and punch you as you try and thrust your knife into him.
Come on, Luis.
Hey,
Luis almost rolls a critical success. He also
Ooh.
rolled hard success. I read all of this last night, and I was like, surely I'll remember all of this, but apparently not.
Oh, you gotta love that. We're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I'll remember that. I'll know how to do this. But then you get there. And
It's such a different system from D&D. It's going to take me a while to get used to it, but we're going to get there. I promise.
I do like the D, like the 100 roll. I do like how that works.
Mm-hmm.
It works really well. I like it a lot, but yeah.
Just depending on the D20.
While you're figuring that out, does anybody want to give a swift update on what's going on right now?
I'm
Yeah,
getting
who wants
attacked.
to give Ed an update?
Harrison Dodge is dead.
He died outright. He is no more.
He tried to help Norman back up the stairs, and Norman pulled him down and threw him behind him as
As
distraction.
Norman was fleeing, he just like tossed him down the stairs.
Yeah, no. What happened was me, Norman, Clyde, and Leon went to go fetch the undergrad student because Professor Sanchez says she was taking a little bit long.
Professor.
So we
Snape.
went to go get her, and when we got there, Leon opened the door first, looked down the hall, and we heard a scuffle inside the room, and then as Leon went to go check, he saw a man kind of like pushing around on the undergrad, and so he told him to get off, as a gentleman does, and she came running.
Okay.
Or he
All right.
he came running down the hallway.
Sorry. It took me a second, but since Luis was fighting back against you, and he got a draw because you both got a hard success, you win the draw because you're the attacker. So you still do your level of damage. So
Sweet.
you still did that. I think I got the damage wrong for how much you're doing, but I don't have time to look up how it works in particular. So next time we'll do it right. But yes. So now Clyde takes his shot with his pistol, and you got a hard success as well, right? You're muted.
You're muted, Grin.
My bad. I did. Yes.
Okay. So go ahead and roll damage for me.
So what does a hard success mean? I get one more dice roll?
I can't remember. So we're just going to treat it as whatever. We've got the book here. You know what? You get to roll. You get to roll. I think it's 1d8 for your pistol, or is it 1d6?
I got 1d10.
Ooh,
1d10. Okay.
that's a lot of damage.
My knife failed
That's
in
a lot of
comparison.
damage.
The mighty
Do you
knife is enough to take Norman down, though.
He's an old
Do you want me
man.
to roll for this, or like?
No, I just need to. I'm just trying to figure out. Since you got a hard success, I think you might do more damage than normal.
Okay.
I just have to check.
Yeah, no worries. This session's all about figuring it out.
Yeah, definitely. And when we come back in 2 weeks, I'll have hopefully ironed out the details, and I'll know exactly what's going on.
No errors, flawless session next time.
See,
Well,
I feel
let's
like
not
the
make
flawless
any-
session. I was gonna say, I feel like the flawless session fails to take into account who Jack is game master for.
Keeper. He's the keeper. He's not
Yep.
not a DM.
It's a nice book you got there, Graydon.
Thank you.
Oh, he's cheating.
Oh,
Hey man, you can buy the book too.
using
No,
official
I-
game resources.
I don't like to cheat. I like to do a dry run.
The Investigator's Handbook.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So on an extreme success, I know it would be, but on a hard success, I don't. So we're just gonna say roll the d10 twice, and we'll see what happens.
Sweet.
Okay.
Kill him. Kill him. Kill him.
Oof, that's a 10.
Whoa.
Oof.
That's an 8, and then it says +2. So 20.
So 20.
As you
McCree over
fire,
here.
as you pull out your pistol and aim it at the creature that's attacking Leon, you put one bullet straight into Luis Mendoza's head, and he falls over, and he is no more.
I kind of blow the smoke off my gun, and I put it back under my.
I'm gonna look over to to Clyde and be like, oh, thanks for the assist.
Hey, no problem, man. What the fuck is that?
I don't know. I'm still trying to take in the fact that I just almost got sucked dry by whatever the hell that is.
Tell you what, you look into that. I'm gonna go look at the girl.
I can't believe Maurice turned against me.
That wasn't more.
Do I turn around and just see Norman scooting up the stairs, or?
Yeah,
Like Norman's gone. Norman is long gone.
I'm gonna look over to Clyde and be like, where's Norman?
I don't know. You thought he was right behind me.
Geezer.
Yeah, I want to go check out the girl.
I'm also gonna go check her out.
Maybe one of
All
us
right.
can stick with the thing.
No, well, I was the one taking care. You know, listen, I ran first. You take care of the thing.
Yeah, but I killed the thing.
Fuck you. I'm just gonna start walking over to see if she's okay.
Alright, fine. I'm gonna inspect the squid face.
Okay.
Ew.
So, yes, it seems that as Mendoza keeled over, the face kind of went inwards a little bit, and he looks a little bit more human. You want to make a spot hidden check for me?
Oh boy, this is the time.
Time for a bad roll.
Okay. I succeed.
You succeed. Okay. So, you can see around the mouth, there's like this mucousy white excretion that was coming out of whatever jaws that he had going for the undergrad students. And kind of poking around, you do see that it seems like he can conceal this quite well. And poking around the body, sort of feeling your way around, it seems like he might have a slightly different physiology from a normal human, but it's difficult for you to tell like what the exact differences are without like doing an autopsy.
Okay. And
All right.
What was this again? Sorry, what was his name? This is Mendoza?
This is Mendoza.
Maurice.
Luis.
Maurice is no more.
Louise's alter ego Maurice is no more.
Yeah.
I hear Maurice. All I think is Madagascar.
Maurice.
All right, so Leon, you are going into the storeroom to check out the Trinidad Rizzo is her name.
Trinidad Rizzo. I better write this down before I call her
She's
something
dead.
else.
You don't need to remember her.
She would have been dead. Like, the book usually expects that she'll be dead at this point. Since you fuckers rolled so well on your luck rolls, Rizzo is alive.
Oh!
She has been pushed down, and some boxes were knocked over in the process. But she is very much alive when you go up to her, and
Good job, boys.
Is she in need of
she
first
begins.
aid?
She is actually looking okay. It looks
Okay.
like you managed to get here before anything terrible happened to her. You cannot understand a word she says. She is speaking very quickly in Spanish to you, and you don't speak Spanish.
I'm gonna try to like relax her, and then I like offer a hand to help her. She's still on the ground, right? So I offer a hand to help her
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, okay.
I'll be like-
She willingly accepts.
I'm gonna help her up gently.
Do I?
Make yeah. Sorry, yeah.
I was gonna say
Go ahead.
I also want to search Luis and see what he has on his person.
I thought you were gonna say search her, and I was like, great. Then.
Not yet.
Come on.
Not yet. I thought you were handling him.
Go for it. Make another spot hidden check for me, I guess.
Oh boy.
21. So that is
Success.
a hard success.
Okay. You find 10 Peruvian dollars on him, which is roughly equal to $3 American.
No, that's all. He doesn't have like a book or any notes or nothing on him of his person. No artifacts. All right, fine. I'll find
He
a
was
book.
actually
He's
just going to get a
wearing-
coffee.
He's wearing the exact same suit he was wearing last night, and you see no noticeable difference other than he's an evil squid leech person.
All right, I found 10 Peruvian dollars.
Yes. Okay. So, as you help Trinidad to her feet, you're assuming very grateful. She's clearly in shock and speaking, again, very, very quickly in Spanish towards you.
Mhm.
You don't know what she's saying. But she begins to, gesture towards you, and, she's handing you a book.
Oh, I'm gonna
seems
take the book, I guess, just receive it. And what do I see on the book? Is it anything? Is it anything I can read or anything?
It is in Spanish, but it seems like it's her notes of whatever she was researching the past few days.
Oh, okay.
So it seems to be what the professor was talking about.
I'm gonna kind of put the book kind of to my side and still be kind of offer to help lead her away from the place, take her away from this horrifying
For sure.
incident.
As you're trying to take her away, she's also pointing towards a box that was knocked over, and she's saying, or gesturing towards it as if there's something in there that you should be interested in.
Okay, I'm going to pause and go take a look. I'm gonna go open the box and see what's inside.
Yeah. So the box is already open. It was slightly ajar. It got tossed around a little bit in the scuffle that just happened. But it seems like she had already opened it and may have been part of her research. Inside the box, it's packed with straw. You find a 2-foot length of seems to be a gold ornament that's decorated and written in some foreign language that you don't recognize.
Okay.
It's about 2 feet long, 3 inches wide, and a third of an inch deep.
Okay.
Yeah. It seems like it was broken away from a larger design. Both ends are frayed and kind of broken.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna gesture to her, be like, is this what you were wanting us to find? Is this what? To see if it was is there anything else? I kind of sit there, is there anything else we should grab or?
Let's see if she can understand you. She has an English skill of 10%, so maybe she'll get lucky.
Here we go. Let's do this. Come
You never
on,
know.
Trinidad.
She rolled a 46, so she has no fucking clue
she
what
has
you're
no
talking
fucking
about.
clue what I just said. All right. All right, I'm going to. I'm just gonna be like, you know what? I'm just gonna take it. Do I see anything else that looks of interest? Is there anything else in the storeroom that seems like it's suspicious or?
I mean, you see that some of the boxes of artifacts maybe got tossed about. Maybe a few bits of paper were knocked around, but it doesn't seem like there's anything directly pertinent to what you guys were doing in the storeroom.
Right. Then I'm going to continue to like lead her out of the room and try to like gesture like to calm her down and everything as we walk out.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. So you lead her out of the storeroom where Luis Mendoza's body is sitting at the entrance in this dark corridor.
I'm gonna do the best of my ability to put myself between her and the dead body laying on the floor.
Okay.
Close your eyes.
I don't even know if there's like a check you can make for that.
Hey, Louis, is this the
Like,
same guy who brought us here?
One
do
of
like
them.
a stealth check.
It was?
Yeah, this is the angry guy from dinner last night.
It's Maurice Graydon. It's Maurice.
When you dropped the cup, he was the guy that like grabbed it and said, "Careful with the merchandise."
Right. Okay. Sorry, I got confused. I thought it was the guy that we met in the lobby this morning that brought us here in the first place.
No, that's Jackson.
Yeah.
He's upstairs with the professor and Ruth and Harrison, and presumably also Norman now,
By now, yeah.
because Norman ran away.
Can I reverse stealth this? Like make her like stealth the image from her? Like keep her view kind of blocked?
Use your luck points. Use your luck points.
No.
Make an extreme difficulty psychology check to see if you can calm her down without knowing her
my
language.
God, okay, here we go. What do I need for that? I need to get like a heart, or what do we?
It's like the 1/5.
An extreme, yeah. Whatever
Okay.
the 1/5 of your psychology
Okay, so
score is.
I need to get. Okay, we got this. Oh lordy. Oh my fucking God.
Did you do it?
No, I
Got a
don't.
6.
What?
I
A
needed a
6?
7. I needed a 7. I got a 6. You know what I'm worried
Damn.
about here? I'm
You could
worried
use your
that
luck.
I'm worried that I'm using all my rolling luck in the first session, and then after this
No.
session, it's just gonna go downhill severely.
Well, probably will.
So hang on. What's your psychology skill?
My psychology skill's 35. A fifth of that is 7, and I got 6.
So you
did
it.
it.
You got
You
you got the critical. You got the extreme success.
Oh shit!
You did it.
I did it.
So
I just want to
despite
thank
the
Clyde
language barrier,
for helping me survive that attack, so I could.
You're using all this
Despite
luck on such a
the-
pointless thing.
it wasn't luck. He didn't use his luck. He didn't use any
Yeah,
luck points. He just
yeah.
got the success.
Oh,
So,
Real life luck.
despite having a language barrier with this girl, despite her being like 15 years being 15 years her senior, you managed to calm her down and start leading her away without seeing the dead body. And she seems to understand what you're saying.
oh my
She's
God!
very receptive. She's like holding your hand as you lead her out of the dark corridor.
Clyde, what do
Yeah.
you think about this as you see it?
Clyde, what do you think about this?
So, I still don't know what the fuck this thing is, but I don't know. I should maybe get someone? Should I stay here? I don't know if I should stay here.
Clyde, just pick it up and bring it upstairs with you.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm not touching this thing. I'm gonna like follow them to the base of the stairs so that I still have eyesight on this thing, but I'm just gonna wait there. And I'm gonna say, hurry back and bring someone. Bring the professor. I don't know.
All right. I'll bring the professor, Clyde.
And
Don't you
if
worry.
that thing starts to move or I see anything start to go wrong, I'm booking it.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so Leon, you and Trinidad make your way upstairs. Norman, after you ran, what did you do?
I'm standing at the top of the stairs, just chilling, just like listening to everything that happened down there as best as I could. But so I'm gone, but I'm still there.
Okay, make a hard listen roll for me.
You're eavesdropping?
He whipped out the old-fashioned hearing aid, like the big funnel, and he stuck it in his ear, and he's like,
The ear trumpet? You got the ear trumpet out?
Yeah, I got a 86. Sorry, what skill was that? Listen?
Listen.
Yeah, that's going to be a fail.
Yeah, that's a failure.
he forgot.
So you're chilling at the top of the stairs. You hear a gunshot, and you don't hear anything else.
Right.
You could warn everyone upstairs, but that.
No, I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
There's plenty more fish in the sea, okay, Ruth?
Man, I can't wait for
Okay.
one of us to romance Ruth.
Good luck.
Yeah. So a few minutes after you hear a literal gunshot downstairs, Leon emerges from the basement with a young woman.
Leon, what happened down there?
You old chicken shit.
You don't know he ran?
You
just know he's up here now.
You're the one who was telling me I shouldn't have even come along, that I was too weak. What am I supposed to do?
I don't know. I've helped out. Numbers still trumps being attacked.
Is Clyde down there? Is Clyde okay?
Clyde's just at the bottom of the stairs, just making
Yeah.
sure whatever that
Do
thing
I
is
hear
doesn't
this?
move.
Do I hear this stuff? This conversation?
Make a listen roll.
Not hard because you're not 500 years old.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see.
Basically.
Yeah, I succeed.
Okay, remember to mark your listen down because you can improve that later. Yeah, you hear an argument at the top of the stairs. You basically hear what they're saying.
Norman, is that you up there?
Yeah, Clyde, what's up?
Hey, you're a fisherman or some shit. Get down here. I want you to look at something.
Okay, I'm coming down.
All right, Norm, be careful.
Oh,
There's a leech
don't
down
worry.
there.
don't worry, I'll run away as soon as the first.
Oh, I
guess
love
walk
this.
down the stairs.
love this.
And I see.
I really am
see
tempted to trip Norman on his way down the stairs.
His fragile bones.
He's
It's
gonna
a
have
really
to hit
bad
his life
damage roll
alert.
or something and just dies.
Clyde. All right, Clyde.
Oh my god.
What is it that you found?
Norman, I want you to prepare yourself. It's fucked up what happened over here, right? And I'm gonna lead him towards the body.
Okay. All right, I'm preparing myself. I've seen a lot of
All right.
shit.
A lot of fish.
All right. So Norman, you see a dead body in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Faints immediately.
Can I get a sanity roll from you, please?
Oh.
Shit. The senile old man is making a sanity check.
What am I at right now? Oh goodness.
Oh no, he's not that sane.
Ooh, yeah, I pass. 27. My sanity's 45.
Holy shit.
You see the body, and it's like, oh, it's Mendoza. It's the asshole from dinner last night. I don't care that he's dead, and
Yeah.
you think you don't even care. In fact, you're a little bit happy that he's dead. You lose no sanity for seeing this dead body.
Like, yeah. that guy was gonna
Does he
be
still look
terrifying.
like a fish man?
Did he attack you?
He looks mostly human. Even during the attack, he was mostly humanoid. It was really only his face that opened up into the terrifying leech mouth. So if you pull his lips back a little bit, you can see the rows of teeth, but only if you kind of like look closely.
Yeah, that
Just outwardly, he looks mostly human.
okay, that's what I want. I want to find like a stick or a broom or something, and I just want to kind of peel back his mouth and like show up to Norm and say, "Hey, you ever see anything like this in the high seas?"
I just imagine the Demigorgon. That's what I imagine with this.
It's a little bit like that, honestly.
Yeah.
It's similar.
if the flower petal shit went inside its head and then it closed into a normal mouth or something. No, Clyde, I can't say I've seen anything like that, really. It kind of looks like a fish's mouth. Little rows of teeth and everything.
Okay, I don't know what to think. I don't know I don't know anymore.
This thing attacked you.
Yeah, it was attacking the girl. And then it ran at Leon over there.
Jeez, good thing I got out of here.
Yeah, it was real smart of you. You're a smart man.
Hey, you gotta survive. You can't
Yeah,
survive.
that's how you make it 61 years, eh?
Hey, not everyone makes it to 61 in my age. Especially my age group. They all went in the Great War. I didn't, though. I'm a survivor.
Yeah, boy.
That's because you ran from the war.
Hey.
You're not there, shut up. I was like, all right, well,
As this conversation is happening, Leon, you get Trinidad back to the professor's office.
All right, I walk her in. Is there like a chair that I can like gesture towards, sit down?
Yeah, she sits down immediately and begins speaking to the professor in Spanish. And the professor looks at you as, you were attacked in the basement.
Attack?
Yeah, there's something down there that you might want to go look at. It was definitely not human. Or it was human, but it had features that were not human. It was actually Louise, I believe, is who we think it was.
Louise
You,
from last night.
yes, Louise from last night. The man I
always knew he
was
was a rat.
egging on. He attacked me in the basement. I didn't see it coming at all.
Leon, do you want to make either a fast talk or a persuade roll?
Which am I less shitty at? All right, I'm gonna make a persuade roll. Oh
Good
God,
luck.
this is not good. This is not gonna go well. Okay, here we go. I have to get under 10%.
Ooh.
no.
I didn't. Oh, what's it? What's the 0, 2 zeros, and a 5? Is that like?
That's 5. You rolled a
Holy
5.
fuck!
Wow.
I hate. I
Fucking Jared. What is happening tonight? You guys are pulling out all the stops. Oh, man.
I get to
It's
put
gonna
a
be
little
hard to
check
kill
mark.
You fuckers.
Nice.
You do. You get to put it next
Sweet.
to persuade. Professor Mendoza goes, if you would all just excuse me for one moment. And he goes, and Norman and Clyde, a few moments later, the professor goes downstairs and sees Dearest miss, what is going on here? What happened?
I kind of gave him the brief explanation, and then I'll do the same thing I did with Norman and like peel back the mouth and should reveal all the fucked up shit in his mouth.
Okay, both of you come with me back to my office. I will call the authorities.
Do you just want to leave this thing here? Do you maybe want to watch it, or I don't know? Like normally,
You want to watch it?
I don't know. I don't want to watch it. Fuck that.
I don't want to fucking watch it.
All right, fine.
You-
Fuck it. Does that
Old
door
man,
up
do you
there
want
lock?
to watch it?
I'm not watching shit.
Does that door up there lock?
Senile Norm. I'll watch it.
Norman, are you watching this thing?
Oh.
No, I'm not watching it. Never. No, I will not watch it.
The professor is visibly shaken from whatever is going on, and he starts walking back upstairs. Are you guys going to follow?
Yeah, I'll follow.
Yeah, I'll follow.
And as soon as we get up to the top of the stairs and everyone's out, and we like turn around, shut the door, and try to lock it.
Okay. There's no lock on that door.
You just see Clyde fiddling with the knob.
shaking it back and forth.
It's locked.
Damn it.
Yeah,
All right, I'm not hanging around. I'm gonna join the rest of the group.
Professor,
All right.
if I may theorize with you for a second about what's going on here.
Okay, I guess we can do that.
Me and the boys would talk about some fishermen. They'd go crazy out on the sea. They'd see the fish and think they're mermaids. And I think Lewis down there might be the offspring of one of those fishermen and mermaids. I ain't never seen something like that.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
This is where someone in the
Oh.
office looks at the camera. They're just like,
Professor, I think we just shot a mermaid in the basement.
Someone get Ruth down there. Ruth, question his fishing.
I can't argue with the expert fisherman. Like,
he's speaking what he knows.
The professor just looks at you and is like, I suppose that is as reasonable an explanation as any at this point. Please come back to my office, both of you, and
For study.
we'll see what. Yeah. So all of you reconvene in the office, and Jackson says, "Does someone want to explain to me what the hell is going on?"
Well,
Well, you see, Jackson,
oh god.
there's a dead mermaid in the basement.
Norman, can we be serious here for a minute, alright? I don't know, there's a weird fish fuck attacked the lady and then it attacked Leon here and then it ran out and it had like all these like tentacles and teeth and it was weird as fuck. I shot in the face.
he shot.
And I was dead.
He shot.
I
him.
shot it.
Well, I stabbed it and then Clyde finished him off with one good solid shot to the head.
Yeah, and I was there too.
No, you weren't. You turned around.
I don't remember you being there.
I was blocking the exit, so it couldn't get away.
Alright, see, that's a smart man.
Um,
What about the what about the other exit?
Norman, do you want to make a deception check for me, Norman?
Deception.
That old man is not very deceiving.
I walked into the room and there was a giant talking fish there.
Yeah, 73. I don't know what.
Or wait, hang on.
Wouldn't it be
I'm
more
just
of like
trying
a
to figure out
charm?
what-
Or fast talk?
Yeah, that would be persuade, I think, in this case. I thought there was a deception skill, but there's not.
That's
Okay,
D&D.
yeah, I failed it. I failed.
You guys do not believe Norman.
I didn't
be
need
like,
a dice roll. to do
All right,
that.
Norman. Sure, you were protecting the exits while Clyde and I took down the monster.
I'd call you Lily
All right.
Livered, but I was upstairs talking to the nice lady the whole time. So
While you're all in the office arguing, the professor is speaking on the phone, presumably to the police, in Spanish. But he hangs up and is like, so maybe we should go over the research that Miss Rizzo has compiled for us. She says
Yeah.
that she finished.
I'm gonna
She says
present.
that- present the book. And,
Yeah, I'm gonna present the book in the chain that I got.
Okay. So with the help of the professor and Jackson, you quickly translate the notes, and if you just give me a moment, you guys have gotten your first handout of the night.
Ooh.
So just give me a second to put it into the handout chat.
Ooh.
By the way, Evan, your notes are immaculate.
So
Holy shit, look at that handout.
So I'll just read it out for you guys real quickly. But it's there for you as much as anyone else. So the note is in Spanish. It was written in 1543 by a man named Gaspar Figueroa. It's written on vellum, which is like I think like a paper sort of material made from animal skin. I could be mistaken, but I think that's what it is. From what you gather, Figueroa was a Spanish conquistador who traveled to Peru with a man named Francisco Pizarro. And I'll just give you a brief Cliff's Note version of the whole thing. You guys can go back and read it later if you want to. So, Figueroa set out to seek his fortune following Pizarro's assassination in 1541. He was accompanied by Hernando Riaz, Diego Garrida, and a man who you all know named Luis de Mendoza and Pedro de Velasco. They were all conquistadors, served underneath the same commander, traveled into the highlands looking for treasure, and wanted to head back to Spain afterwards. Following the rumors, they set off into the mountains and found a pyramid surrounded by a maze-like structure with underground tunnels. The tunnels were inlaid with gold carvings, and the men managed to pry a section of the gold carving off that had exhausted them. In the night, a weird sickness befell them, and in the morning, they all seemed very gaunt and death-like. Complaining of hunger, they pursued Figueroa, who is the only one who is unaffected by this sickness. Mendoza caught up with him and tried to devour him like a leech. Figueroa shot Mendoza in the head and left, only to grab as much gold as he could. He made it back to Lima, hoping to get passage home, but was too weak from everything and was unable to. He wrote this note as sort of a confession on his deathbed, and a priest took this, and he felt really, really ashamed of what had happened, saying he can still hear his friends' voices crying out in hunger as they were devoured and wasted away in the jungles of Peru.
Dang.
There's a final addendum saying the priest who performed his last rites, Figueroa apparently died shortly after completing this note, and his last words were an entreaty to whatever gods were listening to forgive him for his blasphemies.
Wait a sec. So that note, that says that De Mendoza was shot in the head then, and we just shot him in the head now, right?
Yes.
Danger. Guys, I gotta go. I got a cab.
Can I just like open the office door and look down the hall? If I look down the hall, would I see the door that we left the body in?
It's a ways down the hall, but you know where the door is.
Okay. From here, can I tell if it's open or not?
And make a spot hidden check for me.
Graydon's all about watching the dead body.
Nah, I failed.
He ain't watching the dead body.
There's an empty hallway in front of you.
I'm gonna close the door.
I'm like, Clyde, did you see
Sounds
anything
good.
over there?
We all good.
Right.
I don't think we're all good.
So everyone in the room is kind of like, what the hell? Except for Trinidad, who is already pretty shaken up. But the professor and Jackson kind of look at one another and is like, well, surely this cannot be true. It must be the ravings of a madman. Right? Jackson sort of looks like... Sorry, no, go ahead, Clyde.
I don't know. I must be a madman too, because I just seen some shit. And you know what? To be honest, Professor, I'm thinking I want to join your expedition rather than this other guy.
I'm kind of on the same boat.
I'm not in a position to disagree.
The professor kind of looks at you all and is like, well, I think I might stay here at the university. I think that might be the best course of action for me. You all seem to be more than capable. But I wish you the best, of course. I hope you find whatever you're looking for. Please let me know if I can be of further assistance.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew you were a smart man.
He's a professor.
Yeah, smart man. I just said that.
You call him professor, I call him smart man.
So, does this mean that if we go to this temple, we're gonna be hungry forever?
Let me handle this, gentlemen, lady. Fisherman. You like fish, yes? You like the fish? Do you like eating the fish?
Harrison.
Yes,
I'm
my
not
yes.
an idiot. I'm not from the British Isles. I'm from Canada. All right. We at least know a thing or two about hunger.
Not sure if that answers my question.
It doesn't at all.
But those are wise words, Norman. I rest my case.
As
How
thrilling
do
as
we
this
know
conversation
hunger?
is, as thrilling as this conversation is, say, Jackson, what's your opinion on it?
Well, listen, I've been all over the world and I've never seen any evidence of anything supernatural. But I will say, I'm still keen to go to this temple and see what we can route up. I'm sure it'll make for a great story once we get back to the States and I can put pen to paper.
I have dibs. That's why I'm here. I dibsed it.
Well-
I dibsed it.
Jackson, I hate to break it to you, but whatever that was that Clyde and I just killed in the basement was not natural.
Anyways, Harrison, now that your connectivity issues are through, did you hear about the part where Jackson introduced himself as a writer and all of that?
Yeah.
Or did you miss that?
I was actually still there for that. So that was when things
Right.
were good and connections were okay.
Jackson looks at you, Harrison, is like, listen, I have no doubt that whatever book you write will be enthralling, but I'm just here to write a more factual account of the cults of this region. So I'm sure we can both come up with some wonderful stories in the future regarding this adventure.
Well,
Maybe we can compare notes.
I don't think anything that happens to Harrison is considered fiction in his.
oh, I'm sorry, Norman. Do you know the difference between fact and fiction, or do you have to read it on the side of a fish to know what it is?
That doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Well, I'm trying to speak his language, you know.
Are you a writer? Was I? Will you put that in the book?
It's called a metaphor, okay?
Norman,
Wow.
you gotta stop hanging out with Harrison. Your senile is rubbing off on him. He's talking about reading off fish now.
Well, listen, I don't know about this whole eternal hunger thing. I mean, I might be looking a little gaunt, kind of like our employer Augustus there. I don't want to look like that.
Oh, what if he's sick? What if he's hungry?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I guess that's a possibility, Jackson says. Harrison, as a reminder, you've not told anyone about you breaking into Mendoza's room last night.
Oh, I suppose that would be a great opportunity for me to do that. Should I save us all a bit of time, and because you all know, because you were humanly there, and you know everything?
Yeah, you can give us
Whatever.
whatever you want.
Great, you're caught up. You know everything.
You did what?
Listen, I sniffed some sketchiness out of those guys first thing, and clearly my intuition was correct. So I'm sorry, I forgot what my character's accent was before, what I had to do to make that happen.
It was like flamboyantly fake British.
Yeah, that's literally me doing a British accent. Yeah, it was like the bottom half of a mask that was gold, and it seems to add up with some of the things from this story. So now that we know that he was there, there's something really fishy going on around here.
Yeah, see that's a good pun. I like that.
What's a pun?
I
Move
like
on.
it. You said the word fish, so I understand everything.
Now, so what's our next move? Says Jackson. Do we confront Larkin? He's the one who's financed this whole operation. He's got the trucks heading to Puno on Monday morning. We still have all of tomorrow to prepare. What do you all plan to do?
Well, if we talk to him
tell him
about
anything.
if we talk to him, it might startle him enough for us to throw him off guard.
Well, listen, I followed that man to his room, and he is a sick, sick gentleman.
What did you do?
All of us. I
you followed him to his room.
He already told us
I,
this.
I watched him walk into his room, and
Oh
I
my
proceeded no further because I respect him. Well, not enough to believe that he's telling us the truth, but enough not to savant him in his bedroom. But that's not the point, gentlemen. The point is that all of us sit him down, Smith and Wesson to his head, get him to tell us the truth. There's clearly something going on back there. If he's got that teeth or whatever the Mendoza had too, then at least we're in good range to put a couple bullets in him. What do you say, folks?
He won't admit to
At this
anything.
point, there's a knock on the office door, and the professor opens it, and there's two police officers at the door, and he starts conversing in Spanish with them, and he looks back at the rest of you, and he says, "I will just show them down to the storeroom where and he kind of trails off and kind of looks really weird about the whole thing and leads the police officers out of the room.
$5 says the
I don't know.
body's gone.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like we should maybe follow him, but I don't know if I want to go back there. In regards to you, Harrison, I don't know if we need to be quite so in his face about it. I think maybe we asked him, has he been to the pyramid before? How was he feeling? Because if this sickness that he's exhibiting here is because he went to the pyramid, like we got in this little page here, maybe that's proof enough. We do some more prying.
Well, I mean, the reasonable approach doesn't make as good of a chapter in a novel, but I suppose I'll agree with you on this one.
Hey, man, if you want to go and throw fisticuffs at him, I would ask Ruth here, but...
At this point, Jackson speaks up and kind of looking out the doorway. Maybe it's best we leave the university the university so we don't have to ask any unwelcome questions of the police, seeing as we're all foreigners in this country.
You know what? That's a good idea. Make for the door.
All right. Do you guys all beeline out of the university in that case?
Yep.
I watched Clyde make a Clyde-shaped hole in the door because he went through it so fast.
All right. All right. So, Leon, you still have the translated book, and you have the length of gold. Everyone else, I'm assuming you're just leaving the university.
Do we know he has
at present? We know about the book. I don't think you know about the gold.
Okay.
Okay. So you all make your way out of the university into the big park out front. What's your game plan? What's next?
What time of day is it?
Oh, it's still fairly early. Well, it's late morning. Like you all got. I would say it's maybe 11:30.
Okay.
It probably didn't take you too long. It didn't take you too long to get to the university after meeting in the lobby at 10 o'clock. So by the time you get back to your hotel, it'll probably be just before 12.
I don't know.
Well, I got some shopping I'd like to do if we're going to be going into the wilderness. I got some things I'd like to acquire.
Clyde, I think I'd like to join you on that journey.
By all means.
I'm gonna go for my afternoon nap.
Fair enough.
I feel like none of us should be alone, so I'm gonna take care of the old geezer as he goes for his afternoon nap.
I'm gonna go shopping.
Oh, Leon.
I've never gone shopping
Leon.
with an obscenely rich man before.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. You can pay for all our stuff, there, Richie Pants.
I'll buy you one drink at the tavern. How does that sound?
Hey, that works for me.
Okay. So, Leon and Norman make their way back to the hotel, I'm assuming. I don't know where else you would nap.
On a
In the
park
street
bench.
right there. Yeah.
And where do the rest of you guys want to go shopping?
I was kind of just
is
trying to
there,
follow
like-
Clyde's lead.
Yeah, I was gonna look for like a general goods store or something.
Sure. Yeah. Easy enough to find. And Jackson comes with you as well, so he can translate.
Thanks, Jackson.
Oh, what a good guy.
He is a good guy, isn't he? All right. So you make your way to a general store. Is there anything in particular you're looking for? Any supplies, ammunition,
Yeah.
that sort of thing?
Yeah, I want some more ammunition for my gun.
Yeah, I'm assuming you only had the 6 bullets and you just shot one of them.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, that's correct.
Came with one
What
clip.
kind of what kind of gun do you have again?
44 Smith & Wesson.
Hey, same, bro. I think.
You have a... Oh?
Yeah. I just didn't tell anybody about it until now. I got really excited when I saw him pull out the revolver. I'm like, bro, revolver buddies.
Revolver buddies.
Did you see that Clint Eastwood movie about the Magnum too? Me neither, because it comes out in 40 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think. And how about that Babe Ruth? A hell of an athlete.
Oh my goodness.
That is historically accurate. Babe Ruth would have been playing for the Yankees. I think he played for the Yankees at this point.
I believe so. All I know
can't
is
remember.
at this point in time, he's the undisputed athlete of the world.
He hit the ball real hard.
Pretty much. Yeah, he sure did. So a box of 100 bullets for 44 is $4.50 American,
Dirt cheap.
which translates to like 12 to 14 Peruvian dollars.
All right.
But it's well below your spending limit for the day.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, can I use my cash that I found off of Mendoza to pay for that?
You can.
And then there's also a couple of
Yeah.
other things I would like to get.
Yep. Okay, that works.
Sweet. So I got 100 bullets now, or I guess
You
5.
you probably don't have to track bullets for the rest of the campaign. Let's say that.
Alright. I just gotta make sure it's reloaded.
Yeah.
I would also like a gas lantern, a form of like binoculars or a telescope or something, and then some appropriate attire suitable for jungling.
Okay. So, gas lantern is $6.59 American cents. That works out to be around 20 Peruvian dollars based on the conversion rate the book gave me.
Okay.
Binoculars. A pair of binoculars is $28.50 American.
Whoa! Yikes!
I imagine the technology for that might be relatively new, and they're pretty nice at this point. A telescope is a lot cheaper, but it's not as nice. It won't work as
Yeah.
well.
Okay, so how does this work for my spending allowance?
Oh, you're dipping into the assets.
So- Yeah, so you have your daily allowance. Once you go over that, you have to dip into your cash or your assets.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll dip into my cash.
Okay, sounds good. So just make sure you subtract $28.50 thereabouts from that.
Okay.
Or whatever, minus whatever you have left for your daily budget.
Okay.
Because I think you can spend up to $10 a day currently
Okay.
with your spending allowance.
And what about
I think, yeah,
and what about the clothing?
clothing. Let's find out.
Colorized footage of me buying the new Xbox. Time to dip into my cash.
And what's the power on the binoculars, Jack? Is it like times 80 or something?
I have no fucking clue. I just have a price
Okay.
in the book.
I thought I saw something.
I would-
The power of things.
I'll see if I can find that in one of the books. I don't think it's going to matter at this point,
Okay.
but
Times 80. That seems a bit much.
Yeah, I don't remember. There was something in the book about the level of magnification that you can get through different things, but
all right. I would say a good set of clothes with hiking boots. It probably cost you around $15 American.
okay.
Just based on what I see here.
And does my cash level ever go up, or do I have to go to like a bank and get it wired?
Oh yeah, your cash level can go up if you find things that are worth money,
Okay.
or if you sell off some of your assets, then your assets are converted into cash. Because it assumes that your cash you have readily available in some degree, and then your assets, if you want like a lot of money, you have to liquidate your assets to get that money. Is basically how the game does money in that case.
Okay.
Ruth and Harrison, is there anything you want to buy?
I think I'd also like to get a set of clothes with hiking boots and the like.
So yeah, that'll be $15 for you as
Okay.
well.
My spending level's 10, so it's just taking $5 off my.
$5 off your cash.
Yeah.
I would like to get a katana. Some sort of knife to cut through the Peru desert.
You
The
mean a
Peru-
machete?
the
A
Peru,
katana?
A katana is a sword. You're gonna
Okay,
go
a machete. I meant a machete.
My God.
I want a Japanese katana in Peru.
You're gonna like lightning fast rush
Like-
through all the trees. And
Yes. It's just Ruth looks at the junk and is like, "You are already dead." And cuts through it in one fell swoop.
It's just one leaf, though. It's
Okay.
not even like a big thing.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna say a machete. A machete will probably run you about $5, I think.
Can I pick up one of those too?
You certainly can.
Machete bros.
Machete.
I'm just gonna buy a machete. I don't need any hiking clothes. Pussies.
Okay. Other good.
Well, I mean, you gotta understand that Clyde came here, and you've only ever seen him in a suit. He doesn't own any other thing else, any other type of clothing. He's used to living in New York.
Yeah, fair enough.
No jungles in New York.
Nah, just the concrete jungle.
Concrete jungle. Okay. Does that do it for the shopping trip?
I'm good to go.
Cool. All right. So, is there anything else anyone wants to accomplish today?
Nah, I think I'm good. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take Harrison up on that drink he offered me.
Yeah.
Oh, I was hoping you'd forget.
Nothing wrong with a nice meal
Je-
too.
And Jackson kind of seconds that motion. How about we all go back to the hotel lobby, see if we can rustle up something to eat and maybe a couple drinks.
I like you more and more every day, Jackson.
Feelings mutual, my New York friend. Harrison, you said you're buying the first round?
Suppose I am, my friend. Only if you call me your New York friend as well, because that's where my publisher is.
What?
That's true. Literally on my character sheet
I just
It
don't. I don't
says
understand.
that I'm
I don't
from New
understand.
York. Grade's not special, okay? I'm from New York too. I just want to be noticed.
Jackson kind of noticing that says, "Oh, who's your publisher? Mine's Prospero House.
Yeah, mine's Prospero House Super. It's yours, but better. What can I say, Jackson? I've got connections.
That's not a real place. That's not a real thing.
Is that the Mega
Oh.
Evolution?
That's right. That's right.
Oh,
Yeah. Don't look too far into it. It's
A dodgy character
Okay.
indeed, Mr. Harrison.
Look, I'm
All right,
real.
so-
I have real books. Look, does this look like a
So-
fake book to you?
are you just carrying one of your books around
Yeah.
at all times?
It's for bragging rights.
Have you heard?
It's the thinnest paperback, and I'm selling it for $5.99. Buy one a copy now.
That's an expensive book in the 1920s.
I don't know money. I just write good books.
Oh, yeah, he's a rich man. You don't understand.
Yeah.
$5.95. Man,
I could.
It's quite
feed a
the book.
family for $5.99.
Or you could read about the fantastic adventures of Phineas Welsh. That's my book name.
Phineas
swear,
Welsh?
I swear you were going to say Phineas and Ferb.
The legendary heroes Phineas and Ferb.
Matt
The
just takes like
platypus
all these
beast.
popular franchises and claims he wrote them.
I'm currently working on a new novel series called Pokemon.
Jesus.
It's already started.
Fun fact, Nintendo does exist at this point in time.
That's
they were founded
true.
in the 1800s.
That's true. They're making like playing cards and shit back then. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm actually a high level investor in Nintendo. I actually own Nintendo. I'm actually Japanese.
My Uncle Harrison owns Nintendo.
My Uncle Harrison works at Nintendo.
Oh my god. So you guys all make it back to your hotel, the Hotel Mari. Jackson comes up to your room, Norman, and knocks on the door and asks you, and I mean, I don't know, did Leon go into the room to watch you sleep?
No. I was gonna plot myself outside the door.
Ew.
All right.
Yeah.
So he goes up to both of you and asks if you want to join the rest of the party downstairs for a drink and a meal.
I really just want to imagine myself sitting at like the end of the end of Norman's bed.
Just like
Sleep,
peeking
you
over.
old fuck. Go to sleep. Like grab the pillow and start suffocating him.
Knife against his cheek. Just
I was thinking like dangle
Oh.
a fish in front of him.
Go to sleep.
I will go down for.
Oh, that's too good.
count the fishes.
I will go down for a drink.
All right.
I'll join for a drink.
So you guys all join up downstairs. Harrison, a round of drinks for everyone since you said you were buying the first round, I think.
Yeah, and I regret it every day. Yep.
Oh man.
So that'll be depending on what everyone's drinking. We'll put it at around $3 to $5, depending. If everyone's drinking like beer, then it's
You know
dirt
what?
cheap.
I like to
If
treat
everyone's
my
drinking,
friends,
like-
so I'll buy $5 worth of alcohol for everybody, and you guys
Oh,
are so
Excellent.
I'm having a whiskey.
One
Enjoy
that
old fashioned.
I'll have a Peruvian wine or something.
welcome. I'll have
Sure.
Peruvian fish juice, please.
I'm gonna have
Fermented
some
fish
whiskey
juice.
as well. What
Sounds
the
good.
fuck?
I guess
I
you
like
guys
it.
need it after a long day.
Ew.
Jackson also has a whiskey since Harrison's treating. It's Harrison's treat. So I know we're beginning to discuss it at the university, but what's our next move? Do we want to confront Larkin about what just happened, or do we want to continue the expedition with him? I still don't trust him, but he is kind of still our employer in this regard.
He hasn't
Hmm.
Here's the way I look at it. Unless he brings on anybody else, we got him outnumbered.
That's true.
I just don't
I also
know.
don't trust him.
I don't know what you're seeking to accomplish by telling him.
I don't want to tell him nothing. I want to poke. I want to pry. I want to see if he cracks a little under the pressure. See if he's been to the pyramid before, anything like that. But
What if we show up,
Well,
meet with them tomorrow, and Lewis is just standing right there, like, "What's up?" And we're like, "Wait a second." You're not supposed to
Well,
do that.
you already took care of him once. How hard can it be to take care of him and a feeble man?
I don't know.
I mean, if you think about it, out of the two of them, Luis was the much more intimidating character. It's not as if Mr. Larkin's going to put up much of a fight.
But do you remember if was Larkin afflicted with the same condition as Luis? Luis looked like he was in much better shape than Larkin when we saw them first, right?
Yes, Mendoza was like he looked a little bit out of sorts,
Mhm.
like dark circles and pretty odd. But Larkin looked absolutely like a dead man walking. Like he looked much worse.
there's also the other guy, Jesse.
No, that's Jackson.
Isn't there?
He was using
That's
an
Jackson.
alias.
Is this Jesse?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. No worries.
So it's really just Larkin
right.
at this point.
Yeah,
Right.
it is. I don't know. I think
Well-
we can break him. We can make him talk. I have a plan.
All right. I look forward to seeing what your plan is, Norman.
You care to fill us in on this?
No.
Are you just taking the lead?
I don't know if I like the plan.
All right. Here's the plan. You got it, Adam. If
Boy.
what they're saying is true on this letter that we found, then we know Larkin. I looked at Jack for a second. It's Larkin is gonna be maybe hungry. So how do we make him reveal that he's hungry? What do people?
If you say fish, I swear to God.
Yeah, that's what I want. People love fish.
If they want to eat and they try to devour the people
Be
on
careful.
the mission, then we can serve ourselves to Larkin.
Hold
You before
on,
me,
what?
pal.
We can
You wanna
this one of our fingers
Oh
and
boy.
put it in front of his door. And see if he eats it.
How much have you had to drink, Norman?
Like,
As tantalizing as this plan
Oh
is,
my god.
I don't necessarily think I want to offer up one of my fingers. I need those to write.
Nah, I kind of can't. I do see a semblance of a plan here. Like we could watch him. Did he eat dinner last night? Did we watch him? Did he actually eat, or was he just kind of?
He did eat. In fact, he made recommendations to you all to have
That's true.
dishes based around fish because he said the seafood was so good there.
It was all right.
Okay.
Well, listen, I think maybe we pry him a little bit for information, but I'm not giving him no pinky or nothing.
I think that's probably fair. Maybe it's not best we do it today. Maybe we go tomorrow once we've had some time to recuperate, collect our notes. But I mean, I suppose we can go today if you all seem so inclined.
I say we
But-
sit and think on it.
Yeah, Clyde leans back in his chair and is like, "I'm pretty comfortable."
you know,
No.
I'd be a whole lot comfortable if I had another drink, as I kind of side eye Mr. Dodge over there.
Ooh. Oh,
damn.
I'm over
actually,
giving
is
the elbows.
the
Like, hey,
bathroom. The bathroom. Yeah, I actually am gonna go there. Yeah, I
Is there a turning on skill in this game?
actually you
Roll
could do
for
a
snack.
persuade check if you want, Peter.
Yeah.
Oh, you gonna allow him? Can I get in on this?
No. Peter has a special characteristic to persuade me because he's a woman. Or Ruth, sorry.
So
Thank
yeah,
I don't know
you.
anybody
yeah.
named
Ruth can make a persuasion check, and Harrison can contest it with a psychology roll
Oh,
if he
perfect.
wants
Ruth,
to.
Ruth will absolutely roll to persuade.
This is Peter, if you think about it, this is actually just giving us opportunities to farm our skills.
If we succeed.
Are you interested in being locksmith while we're at it? Do you have any locks that I can smith?
Ooh, I got a 3. That's an extreme. That's the
Damn!
highest
Man.
tier success.
You were
Um,
getting something from the top
All
shelf.
right, Ruth, do you want the entire bar? That's a joke. I don't want to do that. Ruth, my
What's
dear.
the psychology skill? What's the psychology skill, Harrison?
Oh,
I haven't rolled yet.
50.
Well, here's the good news. You didn't roll a 100, which would have been a fumble,
Okay.
but you did roll a 99.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay.
So Ruth has captivated you.
Okay.
You're getting what she's putting down.
Ruth, my dear. Well, I don't know. I'm talking like Clyde now. I don't remember my accent before. I'm sorry. I totally lost it.
It's okay.
Ruth. There's something about you that just makes me lose all sense of myself. Makes me go back to me old Welsh roots and think about my family in Welshland.
I thought you said you were from New York.
I was born in Birmingham in the United Kingdom, but I've traveled many the place, Ruth, my dear. I've seen all types of fine women, but never one like you, Ruth. Ruth, I like to think of myself as a composed man, but when I'm around you, I don't even know myself anymore, Ruth.
I was trying to persuade you for another drink, not your unbridled love.
Ruth,
Yeah. Damn.
hang on.
Is this what an extreme success does?
Marry me now, Ruth. I
Oh,
would never give my mysterious ring to anyone.
Holy shit! The mysterious ring.
oh man.
It's
Ruth,
out of your
my
backstory.
God, what is happening?
Ruth, take the ring and join me in holy matrimony. I'll marry you at the top of the pyramid, surrounded by all of the riches we can find. Hopefully no periods involved, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
Is this canon? Is this
Okay,
happening?
holy shit.
Is this
Ruth,
canon? Is
Ruth.
this happening? Is this
Ruth, accept-
Ruth, you have just been given a marriage proposal by this stranger you met last night.
please
He's
accept-
offering you a strange ring. He just
Evan's
pulled
gonna-
off his finger.
Evan's gonna capture this.
Ruth, I'm dying to hear what you have to say, Ruth.
Okay, so I get up and I walk over. I stroke his face. Oh, honey, you're so cute. But I'm going to have to say no. You know, you have to buy me a couple more drinks, and then maybe you can try that again.
I'm literally unconscious from the sheer heartbreak that I've experienced. Therefore, I cannot buy you a drink.
Is he
I'm gonna
actually
pick his pockets
unconscious?
if
I
he's
would like
unconscious.
to pick up the mysterious ring if he's unconscious.
Yeah, I want to
I
pick his
suddenly
pockets.
become conscious again. Okay, Ruth, you win this one. What would you like? I will join you in a drink so I can forget this ever happened.
Bartender, what is your most fancy whiskey?
You get the most fancy whiskey.
What's it gonna cost me, Jack? Just tally up the books already. Excuse me.
Probably $1 for the drink.
Let's go. God, I wouldn't.
That's expensive. That's expensive for
That's expensive.
whiskey.
For a
Yeah,
single
yeah.
drink?
I wouldn't even bother with the proposal. I just thought I'd lose more money buying her drinks than I would marrying her.
I don't know about that.
Our relationship
I don't know how
has
marriage
changed forever after tonight.
I'll fucking say you just got an unwarranted marriage proposal in the middle of Peru.
I'm sorry, everyone. It's just I'm so overcome knowing that there were enemies attacking us today. Although I was upstairs and had nothing to do with it. It's just thinking about what you guys and not Ruth and I must have gone through down there. Just really had me thinking about life. You know, I don't know what we're walking into. I don't know when the book of Harrison Ford is going to come to an end.
Harrison Dodge.
Harrison Dodge?
Oh yeah, I heard about that Harrison
Ford.
Ford guy. He was a good smart guy.
Harrison Ford, my infinite rival, that man has been copying my books and storytelling ever since I make a book called Space Battles. He comes out with one called Star Wars. He's a fraud.
Hey, Jack.
There's so much.
Yes, Norman.
Are there knives on the table?
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, make a luck roll. Make a luck roll for me.
I don't know if that's luck.
Norman cuts off his finger right here.
He's like, just get some
Okay,
good stuff.
my luck is 45, and I scored a 35.
There are like butter knives on the table.
All
For
right,
dining.
I'm gonna stand up and say, Harrison, I've had enough of this. I don't want to witness this anymore. We're doing my plan. And I take the knife and I put my finger
Oh my god!
on the table. Try to cut it off.
Tell us there's something we can do to stop this. God. God.
What is happening?
Are you?
I guess make a fighting brawl check against your own finger.
What does Jackson think? A
Yeah,
marriage
I'm hanging out with
proposal? I'm like,
Jackson.
this
Me
is
and Jackson. The two New Yorkers
I'm surrounded by idiots.
The two New Yorkers are sitting back. Me and Jackson were just like, "What the
no.
fuck's going on here?"
I failed. I got 67.
So you missed? It's
So-
like dramatic. You're like way up in the air and then you fucking missed.
So, Norman, you slam your left hand down on the table. In your right hand, you hold up the knife. And as you bring it down on your hand, it's a butter knife. And nothing happens.
You're like, ow, my finger.
Okay, ready? Oh, ooh, that
It hurts a little bit, you know.
Okay, good. It's still there. Oh, thank God. That was a bad idea. Okay. Okay.
And I thought proposing to a woman I met yesterday was a bad idea, but here
That
we
is
are.
a bad idea.
Oh, well, it's all
All right,
relative.
well,
Hey, before the night ends, Harrison, after a couple of drinks, I want to try to convince him to come out with me and get a tattoo of Ruth on his arm.
Okay, take a shot, buddy. Let's see it.
how drunk are you guys at this point?
No,
I'd
I'm
like to-
fine.
I'd like to
I've been
support in
drinking
this
for
role.
the way.
I'd like to give support to Grin in this role.
I like to think that the bartender gave me an extra little bit of juice on my shot because he saw that horribly embarrassing proposal attempt.
Your friend tried to cut his finger off.
Yeah, and he was just like, God.
Okay. So, Clyde,
Hmm.
make a persuade roll. Harrison, you can. What's your psychology again?
50.
50. I'm giving you a penalty die because you've been drinking.
Oh, God.
I succeed, by the way. And it's not a hard success, but it was almost a hard success.
He also succeeds and has the same degree of success, so he's not completely convinced.
Can I jump
Harrison,
in on this?
Listen, Clyde, I've faced enough embarrassment by the hand of that woman. I
Can
don't
I
want
try
to have
to-
a permanent reminder on my arm.
You know,
Can I try to convince him? Like further, like reinforce what
Ruth-
Clyde said.
Ruth, how did you feel about this?
I mean, that man can do whatever he wants with his body.
All right, I want to
But
reinforce.
I can't do whatever I want with your body.
I want to. What the?
Okay. Jared, Leon, you please also make a persuasion roll, I guess.
I suppose. Do I have to roll again, Jackie? Or do I keep my roll from before?
No, I'm going to say you get to keep your roll.
Ah, shit! I failed.
Let's go.
Okay.
Damn it.
So Leon is even less convincing
Mhm.
than Clyde was.
Gentlemen, I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's no Ruth tattoo on me today. The only way I'm getting Ruth's body on me is the organic way. Yeah.
All right, I want to
No one
try to
respond
convince
to
Ruth to get Harrison tattoo.
We've gone off the rails. Clyde
I'll fucking
says
say.
goodnight to Jackson and he heads off to bed.
You're 100% correct. Jackson, upon seeing this absolute nightmare cacophony of a table, is like, I wish you all the best. I will see you tomorrow morning, and walks off. And
Oh,
with
man.
that insanity out of the way, I didn't think we could flip the script more than that. I think that's probably a good place to end our first session of Call of Cthulhu, Masks of Nyarlathotep.
Damn.
I don't think anyone has ever run the campaign quite like that before. But
Hey, we had a lot of success. A lot of fun.
Had an
was
odd amount
good.
of success.
that was good. If you guys enjoyed this, be sure to let us know. Follow us on Discord. We are Live Connection. We're a variety channel. We stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Is that right?
Friday,
We don't have anything on Wednesday. Friday as well.
Nothing
Yeah.
Wednesday. But we
Yeah.
do have videos
Um,
on Wednesday.
Yeah. It's true. We got a YouTube channel as well. Check that out. We're going to keep doing this. So in 2 weeks, we'll pick back up where we left off during this, whatever this was. But we're not going to be on next week. Hopefully, we'll have the VOD uploaded to YouTube sometime next week. But yeah, thanks you all for joining us. It's been a lot of fun. It's been pretty crazy. But yeah, anything else you guys want to add?
Looking forward
No,
to
no,
more.
no. Yeah, I'm excited for more too.
So am I.
That was the least embarrassing start to a character I've had ever in a D&D campaign.
Yeah. All right. Perfect.
Right.
And with that, I think that's going to be it from us. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
See ya.
Bye.